Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Meet me at the kiosk in your long johns. Our johns ain't getting no longer. All right. Meet me at the kiosk in your long johns. All right, y'all. That didn't happen. Nobody saw that. Nobody recorded that, and that will never be seen on the internet again. I'm sure of it. Woo, it's getting a little hot and stuffy in here. Don't know why. All right, y'all. Let me give y'all. All right, let me do this. Here's this woman. You know, nothing bad to say about her. She's got a TikTok account. It's Corland and Dexter. And I think she's a pretty big follower of true crime. She hosted a live last night. Listen, I told people. Oh, we got Kristin in the chat. What's up, Kristin? I mean, you already know what's up. You know, we're going to play it for what it is. You can't alter what's been recorded. It is what it is. So if you want to stay along for the ride, you're welcome. Now, I was told last night, I had 3, 4, 5 people reach out to me and say, hey, there's a TikTok live going on. It's all about you. And apparently they're saying, they're telling all the viewers to mass report your page and all these other pages associated with you. I don't know if that's true. It may not be. And I even spoke to Corland, and she said she doesn't know. That never happened. And again, that may very well be true. I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't there. But because I was told that, it kind of ticked me off. It kind of ticked me off, you know. And again, maybe that never happened. So thank you, Mind Yo Biz, for the $9.99. She sent $9.99 because I'm in the Johns. Yeah, these Johns, baby. So, you know, that rubbed me the wrong way. And again, maybe it's not true. So, oh, are you up already? My cats are up. Y'all been asleep all day, and then as soon as I go live, y'all are screaming. Little screaming demons at the door. Screaming your little head off. You'll be fine. There's food and water out there. Now. So I joined this TikTok live right here that you see in this background. I will warn you now. I try not to cuss on my YouTube channel. I'm just gonna tell you right now. There's quite a John full of cuss words being said on my behalf, because it did get a bit confrontational. Confrontational. TJ, thank you for the $20 donation. He said, oh my God, these are the longest Johns I've ever seen. Yeah, he's very impressed with the Johns. These Johns pull the big bucks in, people. Good investment. These Johns cost me $20, and I've already made $20 back. So the long John investments. So if you don't want to hear me cussing, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm pretty goofy on this channel. I got a goofy little voice, and I do goofy little imitations. I'm not so goofy on this. I know that for a fact. I do remember that because I went to bed right after this. But, you know, I'm just going to give a disclaimer before I play this, and then I'm not going to interrupt that much, okay? But I'm trying to get all the disclaimers out of the way. I'm just going to tell you right now, you're going to hear me. I'm probably going to sound a little different. I might sound a little prison-y, inmate-y, not our matey, inmate-y. I know I look like a swashbuckler with these. The jokes just write themselves with these babies. Best purchase I've ever made. I do sound a little different. that's just a side of me that developed over 10 years in prison in that environment. And, you're going to hear that. And that's a side that I've tried to suppress and tried to let go of and disconnect from. But good Lord, when confrontation and aggression comes my way, sometimes it does rear its ugly head. So that's just a disclaimer. You may be a little confused when you watch this. Without further ado, are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Long John's in the chat. If y'all are ready to get this going, we'll just play it. Long John's in the chat. You could even do LJ. LJ in the chat. If you'd like me to do one more Long John shimmy shuffle dance, I'll do that. No, I'm not going to do that. Screw y'all. Let's get it started.
With the man that you were mentioning. All right, Jumpsuit, what's up?
All right, let's see.
What's up?
Kristin.
What's up, Jumpsuit? Well, first of all, when I sent you that message, it wasn't rude. It wasn't disrespectful. I just want you to know some of the things that you've been saying about me is kind of harsh. And it's really affecting my kids. Like my son was in school today and literally some kid had your thing playing on. And I understand my calls back then. That's like a Kristin I don't even want to remember.
What did I say that?
I don't know. You said something about it was like about that fat hair. What's fat hair, purple hair? Kristin's gonna be giving Mr. Wade today. It's just some of the.
Yeah, I definitely didn't say that because fat hair don't make sense. Probably said purple hair.
Purple hair fat girl Kristin's gonna be giving. I don't know what video.
I never called you fat. I referenced how Wade said you were almost fat. So I'm just talking about what Wade said in the call.
Okay, right. Let me finish.
Hang on. We got to make sure that we are accurate now with what we're saying.
But I understand. I'm being accurate. But what I'm saying is these calls are from 5 years ago. Okay. All the stuff that you guys are saying about somebody, which is myself, okay, is uncalled for. So whether I said it, whether it was the wrong way I said it, or the other way I said it, or whatever way you're saying it.
How's it uncalled for? I'm reacting to what is uploaded and what is put out there. Okay. Now see,
and I'm asking you
in your message to me, you say, how is it okay for you to change? Talking about me. But I can change. You can change. We can both change.
Well,
but
then also state that.
Let him talk. Kristin, hold on.
Ma'am, I'm pretty sure there's 654 people who's going to see this. So hang on now. Let me make my point. I didn't go into the court 2 years after I got arrested for armed robberies and tell the judge, hey, listen, judge, I'm a different man. I didn't rob nobody yesterday. So you can't sentence me. You can't judge me on what I did 2 years ago. No, I still got 10 years. I still got held accountable for what I did. And so if there's 6, 7, 8, 9.
Real quick, Zav girl, what's up? Appreciate you joining the live. And I did not know you were recording this. I know you didn't even know I was going to be on this. I think you were just recording what it was for what it was and had no idea I was going to join. I didn't even know I was going to join. And then I got like 5 messages and I was like, you know what? Enough. So yeah, it did work out pretty good because, hey, listen, I'm glad it's out here. And let's just see how it unfolds, okay? Enough talk.
Mine.
Yep.
Amen.
Wow. If there's 6, 7, 8 other channels uploaded, I don't have a single call of yours. I'm not in possession of any of these calls. They get uploaded and I react. If something's funny, then I laugh. If something's not funny, I don't laugh. I mean, it is what it is, man. I mean, it is what it I get. I'm a creator. I get people telling me every day, I don't forgive you for what you did. You're a piece of crap. Go die. Go unalive yourself. You look like crap. Your teeth are jacked. Your hair looks stupid. You look fat. You're obese. I get that every single day.
I personally think my hair looks pretty good.
I get death threats. And you know what? I don't message them and say, hey, you're ruining my life. They're not. They don't got that power over me. I keep doing what I'm doing. It's the internet, man. That's what it's going to do.
Well, guess what? You are ruining, but you are right now ruining my life. My kid got jumped.
I don't think I kept you from getting that big CEO position at that major law firm, ma'am. If people listen, it's the internet, man. Like that's what they're gonna do. You wanted to talk to Wade because you saw him on the news. He's famous. He's all over the place. So you want to talk to him. This is what comes with associating with fame. Just like you want to get on YouTube.
That
if I
doesn't
want
always
to get on
happen.
YouTube
No,
and
that
TikTok
doesn't
and gain
always
a
happen,
following,
sir.
this
Again,
is
that
what
doesn't always
comes with
happen.
gaining a following. I have people who hate me, who make videos about me. It comes with it. It comes with it. You signed up for that.
Sure didn't sign up for it. Thank you.
You call it a
That doesn't
murder.
happen to every person.
You're not
that you
welcome
speak to.
because you did sign up for that, ma'am. I mean, I'm listening to the calls other people upload, and I say what I say. I mean, you got to move on from me. Go talk to the people who upload it if you really got to. You want to? I don't got no power.
That's all. Listen, and see, the main thing I want to do here, I don't want to bring any energy that is different or more bold than any energy I brought to Kristin when it was me and her face to face, because that wouldn't be authentic, you know? So I don't want to get on here and be like, you know, if I wasn't going to do that when it was me and her on there. But my whole point here was like, you know, I mean, hang on.
Up for it. Thank you.
You call it a
That doesn't
murder.
happen to every person.
You're not
that you
welcome
speak to.
because you did sign up for that, ma'am. I mean, I'm listening to the calls other people upload, and I say what I say. I mean, you got to move on from me.
That's my whole thing. You got to move on from me because I'm not your problem. People enjoy my videos, but I'm not your problem. You know, and at the end of the day, it's like, I'm not uploading these videos. These videos are out there. And even the people uploading them, if they weren't uploading them, Wade Wilson, Kristin, Mila, you put any other side character in this equation, you can remove them totally from the equation. Wade Wilson is under the microscope right now. Scope right now. He's about to get sentenced. I mean, his big day is coming up. I mean, it is what it is, man. They're going to be looking at everybody and everything. And so if it wasn't me, if it wasn't the people that I am friends with, the channel, if it isn't this person or that, it's going to be somebody else. These are public record. These were not leaked. These are legally obtained. These are all public information. Anyone watching right now could reach out to the state attorney's office and get every single call that Wade Wilson has ever had in jail. You know, and that was my thing. And it's like, out of all that, like, you know, don't bother me about that. You know, don't bother me, brother. You know, like, I'm just doing my thing. At worst, I'm making a few jokes for giggles. Like, you know, that was just my whole thing.
Go talk to the people who upload it if you really got to. You want to? I don't got no power. If I quit making videos, 10, 11, 12, 13. Do you know how many people have requested every single last call of Wade Wilson's? Do you know that the main people uploading it have protected you and not uploaded your worst calls? Because if they did, you would not have anybody in your corner.
Thank you, Maggie K.
Because there's some things said and admitted on those calls by you that would crush you to pieces, and they didn't do you like that. They really showed you mercy, if I'm being honest.
Told you they redact.
did.
You redact some
Whatever
stuff
you
because
say.
you have.
And maybe you don't
You
remember.
know it.
They did. And, you know, it wasn't necessarily for her, because I've seen a few comments since then. It's like, don't protect her, release them. You know, maybe I misspoke. At the end of the day, it's not about even protecting Kristin. It's protecting minors. I don't want to get too into it. You know, full transparency. I've made promises. I'm going to keep my word to certain creators and just, you know, keep things confidential. But at the end of the day, it's not to protect Kristin. I don't think that's the big thing here. It's to protect minors who were not old enough to understand what you know, the situation. So that's why the calls weren't released. It's, you know, I was a little hyped up, and maybe I'm like, we protected you, we're having mercy on you. It really wasn't even mercy on Kristin. It was really mercy on the minors. And that's why that was done. So that's why these calls were not released.
Because it was 5 minutes ago, but I heard it 5 years ago, but I heard it 5 hours ago. And so trust me, they're not even doing you that bad, because there's some things you talked about on these calls that would put everything else to shame. And so you might as well just be glad for that. If I'm uploading videos and you're most upset about me having a couple giggles, I go and outweighed half the time.
It's just how you say things. It's just how you are putting it out there. All right,
that's my personality. That's my personality, and that's what it's gonna be. And it ain't gonna change. You might as well just keep living your life and forget about it. That's what I do when people make videos about me. People make videos about me. He sucks. I hate him. He needs to die. He needs to get off YouTube. Fuck him. Fuck anybody who follows him. He's a piece of shit. He's a bitch. Guess what? I keep living my life, bro.
He wears long johns. They're really red. They're too bright. They blind me. They hurt my eyes.
Like, you ain't got thicker skin than that, but you got thick enough skin to talk to Wade Wilson and talk about these other girls and talk about all that stuff that you was talking about.
Again, that was 5 years ago. All that stuff you were talking about.
I don't care when it was. You're a grown woman and you were built like that then. So you still got that same thick skin. Take it. Just eat that shit and move on. It'll be over in about 4 or 5 months, if not sooner.
One thing I would like to say, and again, I will reiterate, I don't necessarily want to. So this could be that. And so if I'm wrong, crap on me, Thank you to, who is that? Joe Palermo for the $20 donation. Long John Fund. Oh, I'm going to get me another pair. I'll get navy blue now off Amazon. I'll get me navy blue. I'm not going to lie. I like these. And they got a butt flap. I can take a dump and not be cold. It might be a little hard to wipe, but I can take a dump. I want to keep the same energy. I think that's really important. I don't want to come in any way that I didn't come to her last night when she was on there, but it kind of goes hand in hand because one of her big things she sent me a message that was so long. And Kristin, I know you're probably still in this chat and you're watching, and I'm aware of that. And so this, Kristin, you sent me a message that was so lengthy. It took me, and I keep a record of everything in case anyone ever tries to put any false information out there about me. I keep a record of everything because I saw you messaged me from a different account an hour before that and then deleted it immediately. And for those reasons, we screenshot things because they may be deleted. It took me 3 screenshots to capture everything that was in this message that you sent me about how I abused you. I have abused you. And one of the things in there is, I think you were basically saying something along the lines of, don't quote me, but something along the lines of, and I still got the screenshot. Matter of fact, let me look at it. I'm not going to show it, but I'll look at it and read it just to make sure I'm not like saying anything wrong. Something about saying it to my face. Bad place, made mistakes, people not the greatest, mistakes, sick back, make fun of me. I'm sick of the way. Past entertainment. Yeah, I don't know. I can't. There's something here, and I think you can validate this if you want to keep it real. I don't got time to read 3 screenshots worth of messages. I was hoping I would just find that off top. You told me that I won't say it to your face. And this is something that bothered me after the fact. I activated my camera right here, as you see my cursor circling me, looking very stupid. Look at this little dumb little face. I'm outraged. I'm here. And I understand that no matter what, it's over the internet. It's not like we're going to meet up at Starbucks and talk about this. But here's me. And you never activated your camera. You never allowed me to look you in the face and say this. I'm here. I activated my camera because I'm ready to say, I believe in everything I have to say. And I'm ready to say that to your face. And you never showed your face for me to say it to. So that's one thing I would have pointed out if I wasn't very caught up on other things. Anyways, let's continue. Let me try to be quiet for a while. And I just want to let y'all consume a good bit of this.
You making a big stink about nothing. You drawing more attention to yourself.
Did you hear, though, about like what happened to her child today?
I don't even know who that is. I don't got nothing to do with that.
You don't care.
I don't care, ma'am. Nobody would know you had a child.
I'm sorry. I know I said I would let it play, but no, literally, this is the one place I wanted to pause at and speak on this. I've seen maybe, and I know there's always going to be like someone who goes against you and everything. I've seen like 2 or 3 comments that are like, I agree with everything Pablo said, but the one thing I don't like how he said he doesn't care about what happened to Kristin's kids. And that's from that part right there where you hear me say, I don't care. You just heard that. Let me rewind it.
I don't even know who that is. I don't got nothing to do with that. He don't care.
I don't care, ma'am.
So you heard that. I was not saying, and you're about to hear, I was not saying I don't care. I would never say I don't care what happens to your kid. If something actually did happen to your kid, I would never say I don't care. If you listen, I'm going to rewind it 5 more seconds. Okay. Click that. If you listen and just keep this context in mind, I was hyped up. What I'm saying is I'm repeating what she said to me. She said, you don't care. And I said, oh, I'm basically saying, oh yeah? Oh, I don't care about your kids? And then you'll hear the very next thing I say is, it's basically proof and evidence that I do in fact care about your kids, because here's what we did to protect your kids. So I was never saying, yeah, I don't care. I was saying, oh, I don't care. Oh, I don't care. And I think that got taken the wrong way, if that makes sense. Of course I care. I was saying, oh, I don't care. Well, let me show you how much I do care. And so I'll let you listen and be the judge.
Like what happened to her child today?
I don't even know who that is. I don't got nothing to do with that. He don't care.
I don't care, ma'am. Nobody would know you had a child until you talk about putting them on the phone with Wade Wilson. You don't care,
and that's what's sad. Believe that. Don't worry.
Oh, ma'am. If we're going to talk about it, do we want to talk about what's really sad? Do we really want to talk about what's sad? Because nobody would know you had a kid until you offered to put them on the phone with Wade Wilson.
And that's my whole thing. You going to tell me I don't care about your kids? I wouldn't know you had kids until you told Wade that you're going to put your daughter on the phone with him and talk about a book, until you put your son on the phone with Wade Wilson. You put your daughter on the phone with Wade Wilson. We protected them minors. We protected them little underage kids. We didn't release the calls that they personally had one-on-one with Wade Wilson. That would be awful. That would be terrible. You know why I know? Because I heard them. And trust me, they're awful. They're terrible. Though they don't need to be released. And I hope no one else does. It's just ethical. And so that's why I said that. And I was never saying, oh, I don't care. Again, I'm saying, oh, I don't care. Actually, I care so much that some calls weren't released. If you think I'm just out here trying to do a cash grab, I could have grabbed a lot of cash off those calls, and we chose not to because it's not right. And we do care about your kids, and we think it's best to protect them and not release those calls. That's what I was saying. I never said I don't care about what happens to the kids.
What's wrong with you? You act like I ain't heard them calls. Don't make me talk about what you said in them calls that ain't even been uploaded.
That's great. And again,
we did you a favor. We did you a favor.
My mind wasn't in the right place. And you've been there before yourself, okay? All right? So let's stop. Let's stop.
In what place?
Okay, let's just stop,
You don't know shit about me. You don't know shit about me.
Okay, you don't know me.
And that's another thing. Like, just telling you the truth. She said, you've been there yourself. And I know I've done wrong. I've committed crimes. I've been to prison. And so for a second, I started to accept that. But then I thought about it and I was like, been where? Because she said, you've been there yourself. So I'm like, well, if we're talking about the kids and the been where? Because I don't know if we're still talking about the same place anymore. Been where? And she didn't have an answer. And so I was like, well, yeah, you don't know. At the end of the day, I give you what I give you about my life story. But at the end of the day, you don't know me and I don't know her. But I was just saying, yeah, you don't know me. You don't know anything about me. You don't know where I've never been in that place. if we're talking about the same place. I've never called a murderer because he was a murderer and because he's on the news and because he's hot shit and because he's the talk of the town and he's a little good looking. I've never called a murderer for those reasons and wanted to associate with him solely for those reasons. And then told my kids, yeah, I'm talking to this guy. He's a dreamboat. He's cool. Yeah, he's sexy. Yeah, he's a bad boy. Yeah. Oh, you want to write a book about him? Yeah. Well, guess what? Your cool mama's actually talking to this guy. So yeah, how about that? Maybe I'll hook you up. Like, I don't know where you're coming from, what place we're talking about. And I can allow you to say, well, you've been in that place too. What place are we talking about at this point? Because I don't know. I ain't been there. I've been in some bad places. I ain't been there. So what are we talking about? And at that point she said, well, just forget it. And so I don't know
either. So that's why you should keep my name out
all
your
I
mouth.
know is what I hear. And so I laugh when it's funny. And I think it's funny.
No, but you're just making it worse.
And if you want to make a video about me, you're welcome to. Go ahead. Like, and
no,
you ain't
I'm
gonna
sorry.
hear me begging,
I'm sorry.
please stop.
I live a life. I don't freaking sit on the internet.
I'm
all
gonna
day
be quiet
making
for a
lies up
while.
about
I
people.
can't tell because you right here with me.
Right after work. Thank you.
After what?
After work, thank you.
Well, maybe go get some rest and get back to your job. Because I mean, I don't know what you're trying to do here, bothering me, reaching out to me, telling me that me laughing at a phone call.
You to please have respect.
So
That's
me
all
laughing.
I said. Please have respect. That is
For
it.
what? You didn't have respect for them women that you called ugly.
And you know what? And you want to know what? Believe me, I regret some of the things I said.
I bet you do. I bet you do. Hey, when I got 10 years in prison, when that hammer smacked that damn gavel on that desk, I regretted robbing those stores. I bet you do. And you know what? I had to eat them 10 years and do
and I eat my stuff too.
Wow.
But I don't
You're going to eat it. No, you didn't eat nothing. You're going to eat it now because you didn't eat nothing. Nobody even knew about these till now. You're going to eat it now. But you don't even have to. You can just not watch. You can just put your phone down. You get the easy way out. But if you want to be on the internet and worry about it, you're going to eat it now.
Yeah, you're sick, bro. You need help. You honestly
yeah, well, fuck it. Send it my way.
Believe me.
See, here's the thing about that. Like, what, and I'll say it now before I say this. If you listen to the end of this, me and Kristin got into a place where we were no longer like confrontational. We kind of calmed down. We cooled our jets and we kind of just made peace. You could even say agreed to disagree, but we're not scrapping at each other's throats. And I'm glad for that. I don't want beef. I don't want that with anybody. It is what it is. So I'll put that out there first, and then second, I'll go ahead and say, let me run it.
Send it my way.
Believe me, karma is real. I feel
you can just put your phone down. You get the easy way out. But if you want to be on the internet and worry about it, you're going to eat it now.
Yeah, you're sick, bro. You need help.
I'm sick. I need help. I don't need any help. I'm fine. And I might need a little help because I'm sitting here in a pair of long johns. I might need a little bit. But, at the end of the day, it's like, listen, the thing I think she failed to realize is like, I've spent a lot of years around a lot of men who are much better at playing that game than you are. And it doesn't compare, and it's not even putting a dent in me. It's not going to happen. And I mean, and I'm not the bad guy for that because I don't accept that I'm not, I'm not pressing you. It's just, man, no, you're not. No, I know I'm goofy and I'm kind of funny on videos, but listen, I did, there's a reason they gave me 10 years at the end of the day, I'm not proud of it, but I mean, there's a reason. I'm still there. There's still something there, and I promise, I've seen some stuff. I've seen enough to recognize, and at the end of the day, it is what it is, man. And that all that, you might as well knock all that off.
You understand?
Yeah, well,
That's not going to bother. That's not going.
Oh, believe me, karma is real.
I feel like
I
that's
done
the
had
whole
my
thing,
karma.
though. Like,
I done got every bit of my karma. That's why I'm succeeding. I'm young, happy, funny, and successful, living my best life. Trust me. How's your life going? How is your life going?
Wow.
You're
Is
so
it going good, or is it getting
my
ruined?
God.
Mine's not. I can eat that shit. I'm built like that.
You're disgusting. You are such a horrible person.
Let's see who agrees. The internet will figure it out.
Kristin, I told you, like, just leave. That's why I'm trying to tell you to leave it be, like, because that's what he does.
Do you understand? There are phone calls that I have collaboratively had phone calls with these people who are in possession of them and have said, yes, I agree. Let's not release these because these are too bad. You have said too bad of things. And you know what? Some of those are to protect your children. You remember those calls? Do you remember those calls or do you not?
Oh, shoot.
Listen.
Listen. Guess what? Nobody has to listen to the ones that we agreed not to put out there to save your kids. And you're on here talking about I'm disrespecting your kids. We saved your kids by not putting them damn calls out that you did.
You,
do you not remember?
Can anybody hear me?
That's what I'm trying to say the whole time. You're demon. I felt like I was being demonized. I'm the spawn. I'm the cause of all this stuff. The cause of anything ever, first and foremost, from the very beginning, from the letter A before Z ever came into the equation. These calls were made and these things were said. Now they're dug up 5 years later, and I'm listening to them, reacting to them, and now you're going on all these shows, putting it on me like I'm sparking all this, just your life is being you ruined your life. And and that's one thing. If you want to come at me for the videos, I'm like, okay, we'll discuss that. But then it's like, okay, we're doing that. But now all of a sudden, if that's not working, oh, well, now it's, I get all that, screw all that. This is really, really, at the end of the day, this is about my kids. This is about my kids, Jumpsuit. It's affecting my kids. Ma'am, we saved your kids. Yeah, it is about the kids. We protected your kids because 5 years ago, them kids were not protected by their protector. I never disrespected your kids. Your kids were disrespected by being introduced into this awful, sick situation that they had no business in. And so 5 years later, now me and phone calls from prison protected your kids because years ago, they were not protected. And that's the bottom line. And that's it at the end of the day. And I never got on here and bragged about that. I never made a video. Guess what, guys? JSP protects the kids. Woo! I never did that until you forced my hand by announcing to the internet what a bad guy I was and what a piece of crap. You're a monster. You're disgusting. You're sick. You need help. Karma's coming to get you. Ma'am, I did what you didn't do as a parent 5 years ago, and thank God someone did. And I don't take credit for that. I actually give that to phone calls from prison. It was their idea to protect them kids. And I said, you know what? That makes sense. I agree. That's not even me. That's them. They're very ethical. They do not wish to cause harm to anyone, no matter what. And so that's what triggered me. That's what really got me mad and confrontational and a bit aggressive. Do not come on here and tell me I'm disrespecting your kids. I'm ruining your kids' life. I don't care about your kids. Ma'am, we don't care about you. We only care about your kids. And that's why More damage has not been done. Damage by us? No, damage that you did, that we have suppressed to save people who were too young to know what they were being brought into. And they never should have been brought into. That was my whole point here. Let's continue.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I want to defend you, Pablo. I think you're just doing what you do. I love you.
Thank you. Hey, Mila, can I ask you something?
Yes.
Have we talked privately?
You were the sweetest fucking person I've ever met. I love you.
Can you please, I won't even influence it. Can you please just give a little description of what demanner I've come at you with when we've talked privately?
Absolutely. So safe and so secure. I've only had good interactions
you don't
with
get to
you.
talk to me privately. I'm sorry, Mila. You don't get to talk to me privately because I done heard enough of your character.
I mean, I
wish get to judge you just like you get to judge me.
I want to go.
Thank you, Hilson House of Crazy, for the $20 donation.
You absolutely deserve to do what you do. You know, you're making money this way. It's your job. You should do what you do. I get it. Yeah, I don't hate you for that. I love it, actually. It's okay. I mean, but we are learning from our mistakes and we should own it. We should.
Yes, ma'am.
Why'd you back out of the interview with Pablo, though, Mila?
JD Delay in the house. Y'all show him some love. Good friend of the channel.
Go on. This has been
he would have like kept it real too, and then like waiting for that. We were all disappointed.
I did not choose. I got drunk and said I got pissed at somebody and said, somebody get me on here now. I got pissed and I wanted to speak my mind right there, and I didn't care what avenue I had to get through. So that was not a clear cut decision. It was like somebody helped me right this second, you know? So
from what I got from Mila, she's just she wanted to speak her piece and give her story. But I feel like she saw a lot of comments and the comment section, when it's about you, the comment section can be really intimidating, you know.
I know. We got the mobs going crazy.
I think you're fucking hilarious.
What I'm saying is I don't blame
each other.
What I'm saying is I don't blame her. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't blame you, and a lot of people don't, and a lot of people actually understand and sympathize with why you wouldn't want to, because you can put your side out there, and I mean if the comment section is going to be harsh, they're going to be harsh, and everybody isn't ready to receive your side, and so that's basically what I got from Mila. But she was very nice, and she seemed to approach me from a very vulnerable, honest and open place, and just wanted to speak her piece. But sometimes that can be intimidating, especially when you are not seasoned on the internet of coming out and putting your life out on the internet.
Yes, I've never had social media, and I choose not to. I'm a very private person, and I'm also very shy. I don't have thick skin, so I can't handle it. So that's why it took me so long to speak out. But like everybody kept saying, I had a boiling point. I had to speak out. But
I wish you would have went with him though versus going with Tommy. That was like a shit show. Like if you would have went with
Well, here's the thing. Being Mila, we have talked today. I think this is the most serious she's ever been, because we did have a conversation on this live show last night. I think that just solidified a lot of things. Mila definitely wants to come on. And also, I think it's because she had a bad experience with the person she chose to go with over me. And again, I don't blame her for that. I mean, how do you know who you can trust and who's not just going to set you up to just crap on you? I mean, I'm not here to do that. I'm going to let you say what you got to say. And at the end of the day, it's the viewer's decision. It's the community's decision, what they think of what you got to say. But I'll let you say it if my community wants you to speak on my platform. And the majority of people have said they want to hear Mila speak. So I think she realizes that now, and she's reached out to me today, and we've been texting, and she really wants to come on. She actually wanted to come on today, and I was like, I'm not ready today. I'm not today, but this weekend. So stay tuned for that. We can do that.
Okay, that would have been more like pulled in and gathered in, like I'm like, why does she do that?
Well, I was like, I was told to speak out. I was kind of put on under the gun kind of situation. I was nervous. I was like, I don't know how to do this. And then Jake's like, you have to say all these people's name and acknowledge them and stuff. I'm like, I'm being told what to do. I'm like, this is a job. Why can't I just talk? You know, it was so
that's what I wanted to let you do that, you know, but I don't have any ill will towards you for going with, I don't know who, no shade, but I don't know who, you know, I don't really watch other people, but you know, so I hadn't seen that. I don't know what you did, but
yeah, it's okay.
I definitely would have gave you just a fair place to speak.
If you guys want to come up with some questions,
and Kristin, you know, if you want, see, I never said anything. You got on here and did your interview, and I was not mentioned, and my videos were not mentioned.
Thank you,
I never
Lisa
said
Love.
nothing about it. Now people brought it to me. Oh, you got to go react to
Tina.
Kristin's interview and blah blah blah. I never even respond to them comments because that ain't. You know what? I don't even pay attention to that.
I don't want no bad blood.
To me,
I don't want no bad blood, Pablo. I don't
want any bad blood. But listen,
I know that
doing what he does, right?
Well, listen, you know, and I've seen a few people. You know, there's a few reaction videos to this out here. It's not just Zav Girl. It's got a couple others, and you know, the thing is, at this point, I guess there are some who feel I started to soften up. But here's the thing: I never compromised any morals or any debate points that I stood on. It's just my tone softened up. And, you know, I think that goes back to prison politics. Again, I spent a decade in there. And in my experience, you don't keep your foot on someone's neck once they've admitted defeat. You'll hear her break down into tears. You'll hear her ask for forgiveness. You'll hear her say she's sorry. I don't continue to twist your arm until it breaks once you've submitted. And I know submitted may be that may be a triggering word. I hope that doesn't, you know, that can give the wrong idea. I mean that for men and women, not just women, men and women, anybody, myself, anybody, even if I submit. Once you submit, you don't continue to twist the arm until it breaks. If you admit and you back down, I personally, because I've been in prison, I know prison politics, I've seen things get nasty. I've seen people get metal rammed right through their rib cages. I've heard it's, you know, people are like, what's the worst thing you've ever seen? It's not what you see, it's what you hear. I've heard screams, I've heard cries, I've heard calls to God. When people want mercy, give them mercy. I don't make it a habit of doubling down once people are ready to back out. That's just me. Maybe you agree, maybe you don't. So I do soften up, and I allow for a graceful exit of this confrontation, because I don't like confrontation. I don't like it. It doesn't end good. That's what I've been taught. And so that's all I have to say on my behalf, but you make your own decision on that. You're entitled to your opinion.
I know
I'm just doing what I do, man. And listen, you got to understand, I understand that you are not a internet person from what you say. I understand that the internet can be cold-blooded. I get that. What you got to understand is, you might see a lot of comments of people who support me, but what you don't see behind the scenes, there's, for everyone who supports me, there's probably twice as many who hate me and wish all the awful things on me and want me dead.
Well, I don't hate you as a person.
All I'm saying
I hate
is,
myself for these calls. Believe me when I tell you, and I've said that before. I've said that on the air, and I've admitted that I hate myself for any of the calls because I was making stupid mistakes and stupid choices back then, and I want to own up to that. But I just wish all this would stop already. Like I
get that.
We all want this to stop already, but it's not going to.
That.
It's only going to get worse because
these calls are just now coming out, and people are learning these are 5 years old. But here's the thing: you can say, "Hey, I've changed. These were 5 years ago. I was," and I haven't listened to any of those things or any of your interviews or anything. So if I get something wrong, I'm sorry. But this, all I know is what I'm told by like commenters and stuff. So I was using that then, but I'm no longer using now. Things like that. I get that. You know, I'm different. You know, I get that. But at the same time, I got to eat shit for the fact that, you know what? In 2013, I put guns in people's faces and robbed people and went to jail for 10 years. And there's some people who are always going to condemn me for that, no matter what.
Oh, no,
I'm not always condemning you for that. But listen, We listen to your calls, and the next day we're gonna listen to another of someone else and someone else.
I think it just got hard to keep up with what the driving home points were, because it's like, you're ruining my life, you're condemning me for this, and I'm a different person, and it's like, let's debate that, let's discuss that, let's find some logic in that. And then it became, well, it's my, it's not even that, screw all that, it's my kids. And it's like, oh well, okay, unfortunately, let's talk about your kids, and I've always tried to protect your kids. Here's a list of things that I and other channels that I work with have done to protect your kids. And then it goes back, well, it's not even, yeah, but at the same time, it was just hard to keep up. Let me say a few things. Sorry, I'm scroll up. Thank you, Kathy Schwartz, for the donation. All respect to you, JSP, for keeping it real and telling it like it is. Thank you, Kathy. I'm glad you think so. Michelle Marie, super sticker, $10. Thank you. You just bought me a pair of long johns. Forest green color. God, who was I gonna? Oh, I was gonna address somebody. Or somebody said something I already forgot. Dang it! What was I gonna say? Let me think for a second. I don't know. Dang it.
We're not, this ain't, my channel ain't called Let's Get Kristin. Like, it's just the call, these are coming out.
I just feel like when my calls.
And again, I want you to understand, no matter how mad you are at me for my videos, really all I do, I don't care who it is.
Right.
If I hear something, I laugh at it. If you look at my other videos, I don't expect anybody to take the time to, but if you look at my other videos where I'm telling my personal stories of prison, I got my ass whooped so many times in prison, and I will make fun of myself before I make fun of someone else.
Even when you're making fun of me, I've laughed my ass off. Like, oh, he's right.
That's my personality. That's what I do. But I'm reacting to what's out there. I'm not choosing. Listen, I need you to understand there are double digits worth of people who have these calls in their position.
I know.
They're going to upload them no matter what you and me come to a understanding about.
And that's the thing too. Like, thank you, Rad Story, for the $20 donation. She said, "Yo, well, to that, ma'am, I say, Long Johns." Thrifty Divas, thank you for the $10 for Slim Jims. I guarantee I'm gonna listen. I've been addicted. I've been eating these Slim Jims. I'm addicted. Y'all done got me addicted to Slim Jims. Here's something I want to say. Dang it. Now I got to rewind to remember what I was going to say.
They're going to upload them no matter.
Yep, that's it. Okay. Here's the thing. The buck don't stop with me. The buck don't stop with phone calls from prison. In fact, you should probably cross your fingers that the buck stops with phone calls from prison, because phone calls from prison at least is ethical. They don't want to ruin anyone's life. They don't want to. And they want to protect the minors. Do you know that there's channels out there who have realized they can get all these calls? Do you know that the people have told us the next batch of calls is going to be a little bit, because 4 other people have requested all the calls Wade Wilson's ever made, and it's going to take a few weeks. So that means 4 channels are about to get hundreds of calls. These channels, they're probably under 10K subscribers. Do you know they're going to use any headline, any thumbnail, any talking point, any hooking point they can to get views? You think they're not going to release the calls that we ethically decided not to release for the sake of your children? You don't need to be worrying about me giggling and laughing. Oh my gosh. Jazzy's World just sent $100. Bets on Pablo wins. Oh my goodness. You know what? I'm sorry. I had to do the Long John Shuffle. Now let's get back to serious business. Well, you know why I got so excited? I'm going to take my girl out for dinner this weekend. We're going to get some steaks. The thing is, these other all I'm trying to say is these other channels, they're not going to be as ethical. They're not going to draw that line where we draw that line. You're worried about me making a couple jokes about your hair being purple and maybe somewhat possibly your body may just slightly resemble a kiosk. But what you really need to focus on is there's other channels who are looking for a come up, and they're going to post things that are, listen, there are certain things that are just unforgivable in this world, and they'll post them. They'll post them. I think you need to get ahead of that. Strictly coming from, hey, I'm Kristin. I need to self-preservate. I need to like cover my ass because I'm Kristin. Like that mindset. If I'm you, you need to figure that. You need to figure that out. You need to figure out what you're going to do or where you're going to go. Don't worry about me. He and laughing. I'm just being goofy. Don't you worry about the wrong thing. In a couple of weeks, there's some shit coming. There's some shit coming. And it ain't got nothing to do with me, and I don't got no control over that. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is you worry about the wrong guy. Okay. Anyways, let me shut up.
No matter what you and me come to a understanding.
Matter of fact,
about,
I'm going to use the bathroom, and y'all can listen.
Comment section is not going to change their opinion of you based off me. If anything, I can bring a couple laughs. But if you want to take accountability for that and be like, I'm changed. Yeah, that was shitty back then. But don't start coming out. Right. And coming at me saying, I'm responsible for ruining your life. You made those calls just like I've made the bad decisions in my life. But all I can do is come from an authentic place and say, hey, this is me. Some of y'all ain't going to fuck with me. Some of y'all are. And that's all it is. But don't demonize me.
I'm sorry, Pablo. Do you forgive me?
And another thing, I'm not out here calling you fat and all this stuff. Wade Wilson said, you're the man you were talking to said these things.
What do you mean? I know. Listen,
you
Pablo,
keep talking to him, but you mad at me for repeating what he said.
And listen, believe me, I condemn myself, and I'm angry at myself for talking to him and making that choice to do that. But never did I think in a million years, would 5 years later, that these things would like be out there like this all over the world for people to hear. You know what I mean? Wade isn't the only person that I've talked to in jail. I mean, you don't hear those calls, you know. So I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, I beat myself up every day because of that. Because at the end of the day, it is my fault. But I just don't like hearing like all the extra comments. It's hard. It's been rough.
Delete your social media then, babe. It's okay.
That's what I told her. Stop fucking watching the call. I said, new call drop. Don't listen to the call.
Like, yes, you can protect yourself.
That like 30,000 people are going to be talking about it.
And then, I don't listen to it. But today, what happened with my son,
that's crazy.
It struck a nerve.
That's teenage kids, though. People need to be keeping their damn teenagers off the damn internet.
It struck a nerve, and it really got to me. So I apologize if I came at you wrong, Pablo. I really do. I know you're just doing what you do best. But it really demonized my son today, and it affected me different. It hit me different.
Well, and you know what? I understand that, and I would never want that. I would never encourage that, and I would never call for that or advocate for that. Again, like I said, I've spoken to some of these people who actually are in possession of these calls, and we have agreed it is the right thing to do to not release some of these calls that we know would affect your children.
Right.
Okay. If you know what I'm talking about. So
I don't remember. Honestly, Pablo, I don't remember.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to remind you because we're live with 1,000 people. I'm not even going to put it out there. But you know what I mean? All I'm telling you is trust me. We don't want that.
I know. Well, you've said that
about. And Jumpsuit's also protected Papa Steve because I know Papa Steve told me that he's protected him before too.
Papa Steve told me that. Steve did tell me that.
Listen, I'm not trying to get anybody harassed or bothered or anything. And if you notice, I never call out nobody's last name. I don't do anything until TikTok detectives find these people. Okay.
No, I get it.
Anytime you might see a picture on my channel of anybody or anything like that, I'm way late to the party.
Right.
That ain't me. That ain't stemming from me. And I'm not, listen,
I just had an idea. Y'all let me know in the chat, yes or no, if you want me to do this. We got about 10 more minutes in this right here. After this, there are 2 short calls. They're not new. They're a few days old. They're on phone calls from Prison Channel. One of them is a phone call of Wade Wilson getting the notification paperwork that I don't know, something related to him getting the death penalty. Maybe you've heard it. I never reacted to it. And then there's another short call. It's called number 2 with Joey. Yeah, that's right. Daddy Joey. Big jumbo Joey. If you want me to react to those 2, I have permission from phone calls from prison. We'll do that on live just as a little treat after this. So let me know, yes or no, if you want me to do that. Let's continue.
It is what it is. You know, but I'm not the guy to go for about that.
No, I'm sorry, Pablo. I hope you forgive me for
I forgive you.
I think she was like in a heated thing because it happened to be your video that the kid was watching.
We'll do it. We'll do it.
Well, I understand that. And, I don't even know who your kids, I don't know that, and I don't want to know, but, and I never encourage any of that. And that's also within 40 minutes of that post after you messaged me.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, don't start guilt tripping me talking about, well, here's the thing, Pablo. High school kids were watching your video. And so high school kids started fighting and my son got in a fight. Okay. Well, I mean, why are you, what's that got? Okay. That sucks. I wish they wouldn't. But what has that got? How is that how's that on me? What are you telling me this for? And so I'm the topic of this live and I'm demonized because my video was being viewed. Okay. Like you act like I get on here. I'm like, hey guys, welcome to Jumpsuit Pablo's YouTube channel. Gather the whole family around. Family fun entertainment for the whole crew. Brought to you by Disney Channel. I don't got no control. Man, listen, and honestly, I hate to say it, and people might not like this, but you might need to teach your kid to start, you might need to get them enrolled in some jujitsu classes and teach them how to fight, because unfortunately, as parents, the bad decisions we make can trickle down and have residual effects to our kids. And yours might, because this is a very big case. And if I don't cover it, someone else will. That's just a fact. And so no matter what, he may have to face some crap for this. Somebody might run their mouth to him in the school bathroom during gym class. You might want to teach him how to fight before you get on here trying to teach me about being a better person. That's how I feel.
But I think what triggered me was you were saying that me basically laughing at your phone calls was equivalent to the...
No, it's just the mental. I was saying,
you said that's the same as men abusing women, and I don't agree with that. And so that kind of made me mad.
Yeah, because that's not the way I meant it. That's not the way I meant it at all. What I meant, is all the mental abuse and lashback. Basically, it's not even mental abuse, but I'm not just saying you physically, but just the calls, let alone in the comments and the derogatory remarks and the lies and the stuff that's coming off of it is messing with people's mental, ability, their heads. And it's affecting me emotionally and everyday life, just going to the store.
Can I ask you, I'm sorry to interrupt, what are the lies that I've contributed to? Now, see, I do acknowledge that I got something wrong. I actually made a mistake. I was given bad information and said that you were in prison currently. And so I told people that. So I was wrong. And anytime I see a comment about that, I do correct that.
But see,
I was wrong about that. But other than that, what are the lies that are affecting your life that are from me?
No, I didn't say it was from you. I'm just saying it's a lot of your videos that people repost and put the lies on, basically, and the comments down. And I don't got no control. I know you don't have control. I know you don't.
Exactly. I don't got. Hang on, real quick. Oh my goodness. $50 donation from Kay. Said, get some dessert after steak. Chocolate cake a la mode? Long John a la mode? That's the Long John Shuffle, baby. Thank you so much. I can't wait to take my girl out this weekend. We're going to have a great date. She'll think I'm a good provider, like I earned it myself. She doesn't even know it was donated by a supporter. Thank you so much. I might leave my back flap open this weekend even. Might even leave my Long John back flap open just in case. Now, here's the thing. Let me rewind just so we know what we're talking about.
On basically, and the comments down, and you're
I don't got no control.
I know you don't have control. I know.
Yeah, it's like you can't. Why are you bringing all this? This is what I did. Why are you bringing all this up to me? People are taking your videos, they're reposting them elsewhere and putting their own narrative and making up their own lies about it with your video that they stole from you being the foundation of that. Well, ma'am, I got news for you. I don't know why you're mad at me about that. I don't got no control over that. And my whole thing is like, that's why I got on this live in the first place. Why is everything leading back to me? You're ruining my life by laughing at these calls. Ma'am, there's nothing to laugh at if you didn't make these calls. You're making jokes. I'm really, honestly, let's be real. I'm not a comedy genius. The jokes write themselves. There's some very absurd things said here. And I think it's kind of just what everyone's thinking. And all I do is kind of cheaply point it out. I don't even give myself that much credit to say I'm just some comedy genius. The jokes have written themselves. And honestly, you wrote those jokes because you said them. So you did that. So it's not on me. I didn't ruin your life. Okay, well, it's the kids. You're disrespecting the kids. I'm not disrespecting the kids. I'm protecting the kids because I chose. I agreed, and I assure. I reinforced the idea that hey, we should not release these calls to protect the kids. And so these kids were protected because of that. And then the next day, okay, well, there's lies that are stemming from your videos. Well, okay, but then you need to go talk to them liars. Go talk to them fibbers. Like, get them on the live, man. Like reach out, send them an email. Get on all up at it, man. Listen, man, I'm just doing my thing. Like, I don't get it. That was my whole, I don't get why you move on from me. Leave me alone. I don't know why you're on me.
No, you don't. I know you don't. And I'm not saying you do. I'm not saying you do. I just would hope to God that you can actually say, you know what, I spoke to this girl and she is a different person. Or, something. I know you do you. I know that's not your character. But
I don't know you now and I don't know you then. I just know what I get.
I don't even want to know the Kristin back then.
I don't know. I can't go to my community who trust me and say, this girl is that. I don't know that. And that's not to go against you. That's just, I'm not going to betray them.
That's the thing. She's like, I just wish you could have talked to me and have a conversation with me privately and then be able to go to your viewership, your community, your following and say, hey guys, big announcement. Kristin is no longer the same woman that we hear. She's different. And what I'm telling her is, I don't know. I don't care if I had 5 conversations with you this week. I don't know that. And my community trusts me. They have faith in me. They believe in me. I'm not going to get on here and say, hey guys, relax. She's changed. Maybe she has. Maybe she has. But I'm not going to get on here and talk to you for 10 minutes and get on here and like, hey guys, whoa, big mistake. Uh-oh. She's practically a nun. She's joined a monastery. I don't know. You can make anything sound real good. I don't know that. I don't know that. So I can't get on here and do that for you. And I'm not wrong for that. I don't have to do that. And I'm not wrong or right for that. It's America. I don't have to do that. I don't know. I'm not going to get on here and tell my community who trusts me and believes in me a bunch of some stuff that I don't even know.
I don't know that.
Well, I don't even want to know that girl back then, Pablo.
All I know is what I hear in these calls. And I don't even say, hey, everybody, let's harass Krista. I just make jokes. That's what I do.
Well, that's why I was trying to reach out to you personally. So this way me and you can have a conversation and actually talk about it, because I don't
think it's going to change his content, though. I think
it's not. It's honestly not. And you know what? Hopefully you didn't make more calls after, much more. And if you didn't, people, and you'll never have to worry. People are going to listen. This is the internet. I promise you something different is going to come along. A new case is going to come along, and people ain't even going to remember who you are.
I hope so. I can't wait for that moment to happen.
I promise you, people ain't even going to remember who you are.
I can't wait.
He's telling you the same thing I've been telling you, Kristin. You gotta,
Thank you, Harley.
You got to put it down, and you know that they're coming out. Don't freaking watch them. And
I'm not going to lie. It doesn't really change too much from here. Do y'all want to go ahead and go to the calls, or do y'all want to finish this? There's about 9 minutes left. Do y'all want to finish this, or do y'all want to go ahead and go to the calls I was talking about? Let me know now. Type finish, or type calls. What do y'all want? Calls. Calls. Okay. Everyone's saying calls, but honestly, I'm just going to tell you the truth. One person said kiosk, and so that kind of overrides everything that all y'all are saying. So I'm going to get up, and I'm going to leave, and I'm going to go walk to the kiosk. Jazzy's World just sent another $100. What the? Listen, you trying to... Now I feel obligated to do a little Long John shimmy. A little, since you want to gimme, I got to do a Long John shimmy. Every time. And I'm sick. You know what? How about can I sing for you instead? Would you like me to sing you a song? I've got an original jam. I think you'd like it. I think hey, somebody, whoa. Somebody in the chat has a username. Their username is Midnight Canteen. Who is this? Midnight. Do y'all want the song, or do y'all want the shimmy? You can't get both. Somebody said both. Shut up. We want both. Unsubscribe. We're going to do the calls next, okay? Jazzy's World just sent another 50 and said both. Listen, clearly Elon Musk is in the chat with unlimited funds being a menace. That's it. I got help! 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 Oh, I'm not playing. I swear to God, I'm not. Listen, no, I'm sick of y'all. No, I'm sick of y'all. I genuinely needed help, and somebody typed and said, "Hit the kiosk button," and I saw "hit the," and I went, "Oh," and then it said "kiosk button." And I went, "There is no kiosk," but y'all are messing. All right, Jazzy sent a lot. All right, let me sing for y'all again. Hang on. Listen, I can't just, I got to enter the room. Hang on. Let me. Okay. All right. Hang on. Meet me at the kiosk in your long johns. Our johns ain't getting no redder. We might as well do this. Midnight canteen. Slim Jims for me. My flap is not flapping in the wind. Don't say that. Listen, I ordered these off Amazon. They came, they got a butt flap with no button. What am I supposed to do? So I put on my red boxers to fool you into thinking that you couldn't see anything, but what you actually saw was my butt. So there's that. I don't have a stain. Shut up. I don't have a stain. You're lying. I checked before I even went live. So you can stop that. That's false. You're spreading false information, and I want you to know you can get arrested for that. You can go to jail for doing that. I want you to know that. You can get arrested. You can be arrested. Matter of fact, you're under arrest. Mods ban him. All right. Let's find hang on. We need to go to phone calls from prison. And I got to find their channel first because I'm going to search them up, and I don't want y'all to see what my search history is. So I'm going to find them first, and then I'll share the screen. I don't want y'all to yeah. No, sir. Okay. Why is there 4,700 people, 4,800 people watching me shake my butt flap? All right, we're going to react to some calls, y'all, in real time. What do we got first? Okay, we got the joke. Okay, what do y'all want first? Do y'all want the 3-minute death penalty paperwork call, or do y'all want the Joey? The 40 the 47-second Joey. Type death or Joey? Skull emojis or Joey? Somebody just typed, I'm watching you shake it all the way from England. I don't like how you worded that, ma'am. I don't. Because I tell you, I don't need the royal family. No, I'm shaking my butt flap. All right. Everyone wants Joey. Let's get it.
Hi, Joey.
Hey.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Hey, I'm still at work, babe.
Okay, what'd you call me? Did you call me, babe?
Yeah.
Are you sure I'm still yours?
Yeah. Hey, hold on. I'm gonna go in the bathroom. Like we've been here fucking.
Hold on. I'm gonna go to the bathroom so I can whip out.
Hammered again. But yeah, if you can call me tomorrow, please.
Yeah, I can call you tomorrow. The kiosk has been down today, so I didn't get any of your messages today.
The what? Dang it. Y'all, national emergency. Breaking news. The kiosk has been down today.
Okay. So I told you, yeah. But yeah, it's, I'm like the only bartender. We had a full house. The other guy went to see midget wrestling. So it's been a fun night. Hey.
Oh no! What'd I do?
Sorry. Hold on. I'm gonna go in the bathroom. Like we've been here fucking hammered again. But yeah, if you can call me tomorrow, please.
Yeah, I can call you tomorrow. The kiosk has been down today, so I didn't get any of your messages today.
Okay. So I told you, yeah. But yeah, it's I'm like the only bartender. We had a full house.
I go who, what, when, where, how, why, E-I-O-U, and sometimes why. Sometimes I have sex with a guy. Wade, I love you.
The other guy went to see midget wrestling. So it's been a fun night.
Midget wrestling?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like a fucking loser. All right, babe. Call me tomorrow, please.
All right, I will. Bye.
All right, bye.
Well, that was stupid. Get another call.
Monitored or recorded. Thank you for using GTL.
Hello?
Did he say? What did he say? Hang on. Let me rewind that.
Hello, this is a prepaid call from
Wilson.
an inmate at the Lee County Jail. To accept this call, press 0. Your current balance is 94 cents.
What'd he say?
This telephone call may be monitored or recorded.
What did he scream into the atmosphere of the cell block?
Thank you for using GTL.
You mean this thermal bottom? Nice and warm. I'm actually starting to get a couple sweat beads. Couple glands, about 14 glands just opened up.
Yeah.
Because I'm so warm and cozy.
Hey.
Hey, how are you?
Hey. I'm okay.
14 glands.
What are you doing?
No, I'm just in here.
Just sitting there? Yeah. Did you read my message I sent you on the kiosk?
No, I haven't read it yet.
Okay. The state's attorney, they brought me the paperwork today to seek the death penalty. They brought me like fucking 2 pieces of paper.
Are you serious?
What? Look, it says.
What was that noise?
Look, it says notice of intent to seek death penalty, and then it tells why or whatever. So
That's my John's elongating, honey.
yeah, serious. So
Wow.
yeah, tell me about it. Wow, that's what I said. That's what I said. Fuck that.
That's nuts, babe.
Excuse me, who donated $5 just to say JSP got that dumpy? Don't say that again. No. talking about I got a couple bands on my kiosk back there. No, don't do that.
That's crazy.
It is.
Dumpy.
Yeah, baby, it is crazy. That's what I said. I tried to call you. I tried to call you last night, but you didn't answer.
Probably I fell asleep. I fell asleep early.
Huh?
But I fell asleep early.
Oh, you fell asleep early last night? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been sleeping all day. I just woke up like when they brought me these papers. Actually, it's like 3 o'clock right now. Yeah, I've been sleeping a lot for some reason.
Been sleeping a lot for some reason. It's almost like I've been on methamphetamine and bath salts for 2 months.
I only have like $1 on this phone call. No, it's not going to be long. Yeah, I got to go down and put money on.
Okay, good. Alright. Alrighty.
I'll write you back though.
Huh?
I'll write you back though.
You write me back? Okay.
You have 1 minute
My
remaining.
goodness.
1 minute remaining.
See?
Yeah.
Who just donated? What did you just donate? Y'all just donate to say terrible things. Mind Your Biz, which clearly she's not, donated $20 to say, wear your Johns for steak with your girl. So are you going to make me prove that I wore my Johns out to a steak dinner? Take her to a nice place and wear your dang Fruit of the Loom Amazon $11 long johns. Is that what you're telling me? You paid me double what the long johns cost to wear the long johns to the steak dinner. Ma'am? Please.
Love you,
I love you too, baby. Yeah, just write me back or something. And,
keep your head up.
Because I'm going to tell you what, you think I won't. You think I won't. With the butt flap wide, the John open. With the butt flap wide, the long open. The butt flap wide, the key.
Yeah, I'll try to. I'll try the best I can.
Please.
I'll try. Yeah, I'll try. I will.
You think I won't.
Yeah, I love you.
I love you too, baby. I'll
Think
talk to
I
you
won't.
later.
All right. Bye.
Thank you for
Boo. Hang on.
watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn notifications
Hey, yo.
on so you don't
Hey, yo.
miss the next one.
Meet me at the kiosk in your long johns. Man, your long johns ain't as long as my johns. They ain't redder, better get better.
Okay, I was honestly, I was just about to start cooking and then they cut the beat. But forget it, you know. It's all right. People are intimidated by me. Yeah. Does anybody, okay, here's what I'm going to do, okay? I want to do something pretty special. But first, before I do that, I need to roast a loser. There's a big old loser in the chat. His name's Mitchell Scott. He says, LOL, bro, that shirt. Guys, he thinks it's a shirt.
Clearly, you've never heard of long johns. You never met nobody at the kiosk in your long johns.
You know what? I'm going to spare him, though. Don't harass him. Don't say nothing to him. No. Let him live. We'll give him a chance. Holly Breedlove. Now that's a wild last name. Holly Breedlove. Pictures of the steak dinner in the Long Johns, or it didn't happen. Here's $5. Well, thank you. I can get a ice water with that. No, I'm just kidding. No, I ain't even, no, that's kind of, I hope y'all get my humor because I'm not even trying to belittle that. That I actually appreciate that. I can actually go get some Slim Jims because y'all have gotten me addicted to Slim Jims with that $5. I'm actually just joking. just messing. Okay. No, what was I going to say though? Mitchell Scott just bought a membership. No, don't try to be a member now. You thought this is a shirt. It's not. Do you know this is the 2024 spring collection? This is the hottest thing on the market for farmers to till their crops, to tend their corn, to harvest their cabbages on their farm. This is what they wear. And you are disrespecting it by calling it a shirt. These are Johns of Long. You've heard of Fruit of the Loom. These are Johns of Long. So, you know, get cultured, sir. Because I'll do a whole live about you. You understand? What was that, guys? What was I going to say? What was I going to say before that? Oh. Here's what I was going to do. Oh, JD Delay, another $10. JD, quit. Come on, man. Hey, man, listen. He called me Demure. Listen. You know I got to Google that. But I know it's from TikTok. It's the new slang. Oh, yeah. So this is what I'm going to do. I want to do something a little different. Because I listen, man, we got a new community. Everybody's cool. Is there anybody who wants to join the live and just talk? Now, don't do nothing crazy. But if there's anyone who would like to join the live, I'd like you to join the live. You can ask me about Wade Wilson. You can ask me about my interview with Kiosk Kristin. You can ask me about my butt flap and why it didn't come with a button. But I'll tell you, spoiler alert, I don't know. And I've already left a 1-star review on Amazon. So yeah. Is there anyone who wants to? You don't need it. I don't know how. Well, let me tell you something. I'll tell you how. I didn't ask if you knew how. I asked if there's anyone who wants to. And if there's anyone who wants to, then I'll tell you how. All you need to do, let me go and open up my email. Open up my email. And we're ready. So I've opened up my email and here's what I'll do. I got like 20 alerts. Hey, your computer's about to explode. You're typing too much. I was just listen. Excuse me, can I exit out of this? I understand I was typing a lot. Get this off my screen. Dang. I need y'all to send me an email if you want to join. Wait. Somebody said, I know your email. Some girl said, some girl named Lindsay Leanne said, I know your email. No, she actually typed. Okay, ma'am. What are you, evil? What do you got? Dastardly plans for my email? What do you? Okay. You know my email. Well, congratulations. What do you? You sound like a wicked witch. I know your email. Okay. Well, you're not the only one because I'm about to tell everybody what the email is that they can join the live on. So enjoy it while it lasts. It's going to last about 2 more minutes, ma'am. Okay. Let me see. Invite. Okay, invite. Okay, here's what. Okay, yeah. No, I figured it out. All right. Anybody who wants to join my live, send an email to jumpsuitpabloclips@gmail.com and just say, hey, I want to join. I'm ready. You need to have a camera, a mic, something. You need to be ready. You better be ready to go. You better be ready to go. That's what I'm telling you, or you're not going to get approved. But go ahead and send them emails. Give it about 5 minutes, and we'll get some people on here, and we'll just, hey, listen, you know, I love to interact with the community. I'm not scared of y'all. I'm not scared of y'all. I'll let you on here. We'll talk. We can have a good little time. Good little time. And then everyone else who doesn't want to do that, you can meet me at the kiosk in your long johns. Y'all ain't gonna believe who the first. Y'all ain't gonna believe who the first one. Y'all are gonna think I'm full of crap when I tell you who the first person who sent me an email is. But y'all are slow. Y'all are gonna think I'm full of crap. Hey, first come, first serve. But y'all are gonna think I'm full of crap. I'm just letting you know. Uh-oh, we got a lot. Somebody's last name's Lugosi. Brother, you better Lugosi somebody about changing that name. That's all I'm saying. Oh, there's a lot. Man, I can't keep up. Oh, hold on now. Everybody slow to hang on now. Stop it. Huh. All right. I'm going to send it to y'all now. Listen. Boom. First come, first serve. Whoever I see in the lobby first. Oh, my goodness. It's pouring in. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh.
Oh, hello. How you doing, doggy?
They're gonna think this is rigged.
Look, man, I was supposed to do a live tonight, but like I'm kind of nauseous and shit. But I figured if I'm not gonna do my live, I may as well jump in because instead of doing my live, I'm just watching yours, bro.
Yeah. Well, did you catch the butt flap shimmy?
I caught it a couple times, bro. Why do you think I stayed? If you hadn't to shake that thing, I wouldn't still be here.
Not only that, you didn't just stay, you donated. So I think you like what you saw now. Come on now.
I only donated $10. I know I don't get a shimmy for that, bro. I don't get no shuffle. I don't get no shimmy. But yo, it was good, bro.
What's up, man? Hey, listen.
You got moves for a white dude that took over a black gang.
Yeah, I didn't just. I'm still holding that position to this day. Listen, and you don't get that position until you got moves like mine. But I got an idea for us.
Okay.
Wade Wilson, August 27th. What do you say?
You want to live stream that together?
We can team up.
I'm with the team up, bro. I love it.
Double J's, JD and Jumpsuit. Let's get it.
Here's the deal, bro, is that like you've got an amazing community. I've got an amazing community. I love coming over here and kicking it with y'all's people, bro. Right. And we've got a lot of people that intersect. So I think it'd be cool, man. You know, we'll make some nachos, some prison nachos. We'll throw in on some soups, cut up a meat stick, bro. Get that squeeze cheese on that bitch.
I'll wear my long johns. We'll get it.
Bro, if you wear your long johns, I'm either wearing a onesie or maybe a lounge pajama suit, bro. We're gonna see this dude him get the final verdict on this. I don't know how you feel. I don't know how anybody in the chat feels.
I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you, JD, because I know you've lived a portion of your life in Florida. You know much more about it than me. What do you think about what's the likelihood of him getting this death penalty out there?
Are you a PG channel, a PG-13?
I know you did. Nope.
They gonna fucking fry this boy, bro. They gonna fucking fry this boy, dog. There's just too much involved. The only thing that might be a little bit so you do know that he snitched on that dude and testified on that dude, literally went and testified on this dude while he was in jail. And I think that he might be banking that he's going to get a little bit of love off that, but the state of Florida don't give a fuck, bro. You killed them two women. It's real high profile. I think this is a chance, once the jury's given them the opportunity, they get to flex their death penalty. The state of Florida is all about the flex, bro. Their law enforcement, everything. And, you know, I could be wrong, but I think they're going to fry him. And if they don't, bro, like one thing I'll tell you about the state of Florida prisons is a little different from out here on the West Coast. Maybe you can let me know how it is with your experience. But them COs is the ones you need to worry about in there, bro. So all these people saying, oh, he'll be in death row or he'll be in PC. Bro, he ain't gonna be safe, bro. As soon as this media spotlight's off of him and he ain't got to be on cameras no more, them COs is gonna beat the fuck out that dude, bro.
Dude, and if they don't do it, they'll let somebody else.
But the COs love
for
doing
sure.
that shit, bro. The COs are a gang out there, and they'll crack your door at 4 a.m. and beat the fuck out you.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Yeah, I mean, absolutely, dude. It doesn't surprise me, and I think so too. Do you think the judge on the low? Do you think he's? I mean, not to toot my horn, it's not about me, but these videos. It's not about my videos. It's about the fact that the content is the calls. You think the judge has seen any of these calls and like heard just how much he doesn't give a crap about what he did?
Man, you know, I don't know. I don't know how hip they are to the whole YouTube thing. You know, it's anybody's game. It's anybody's guess with that, man. You know what I'm saying? I do know that there's a lot of public pressure from both sides, but mainly from the side that wants justice for these women and their families. And I think, honestly, probably to a judge who sees this type of thing all the time, the pressure from women because they think he's hot and misunderstood, that's just going to piss that judge off more, dog. They think they doing him some type of service. That judge is going to see that, and he's going to be like, this is the type of sick fuck we need to take off the street.
I feel like they're turning him into in this case into a spectacle. And judges, listen, they don't want to be known for no spectacle. They want to be respected and have nice professional careers. Man, they're going to fry them. That's what I think. But I don't know.
These chicks are doing him a major disservice by creating this public pressure. This isn't one of those cases like with, so the Alaskan Avenger, dog. You know, he beat up 3 pedophiles with a hammer in Alaska, and the community came, and there was a huge community outpouring of support for him. And so they got him off that 28-year sentence and got him down to an 18-year sentence. But this isn't that situation, dog. This dude killed women in cold blood.
Right.
In cold blood, and he's been I feel like his emotional disconnect. The judge has seen so much of this emotional disconnect. Him sitting there acting like he don't give a fuck, doing like this and holding his crotch in court and shit because he knows that chicks is watching. I think the judge is going to take that as an absolute disrespect. He's made that court into a kangaroo court. It's been a clown show, and there's women out there like all in an uproar about it. Like every single thing that I see points to this dude being done, bro. And Florida has no problem killing people. They got no qualms, sir.
And I want to let some other people get on, but I want to ask you because and you can attest, sometimes when I'm making a video about somebody, I come to you before I even post, and I ask just to get a second opinion because I trust your opinion that much.
And likewise, bro.
There's women who are like, he only confessed to, he was threatened by some, there's this whole conspiracy. I haven't even looked into it, but it's like, it's to save his kids. We ain't heard that man talk about his kids one time. And this man, can you not see through? And surely you've seen it. And some people can't believe it because they feel like there's no way anyone is this stupid to get on a jail call, days after they get arrested and confess in just zero empathy and cold blood to their murders. But there's some listen. People don't go to jail for being smart. There are some dumb people in there. I feel like that confession is 100% real. What do you think?
Oh boy, I have seen so many people get on a jail phone, listen to the whole recording. This call is being recorded. And then they just spill their guts, dog. The problem is that they don't have much of a filtering system. There's not like an IQ test to take to go into jail or prison. Some of them dudes is dumb as fuck, bro. And Wade is like, he's not some genius. He's not some mastermind. He's every single Florida fuckboy I ever met
Yes.
in my 10 years in Florida, bro. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee you, if you dig deep enough, you'll find his SoundCloud. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just that dude. He's like literally the dude who gets, he's homosexual. You know, he lives off women. He's the type of dude that'll, you know, drop a girl off at her job and live in the apartment that she stays at and borrow her car while she's at work so he can go out trapping, and then he don't even be on time to pick her up when she gets off work.
Yeah.
He's that dude, bro. He's just that dude, man. And yeah, he's bro, it's not that far of a stretch that he would immediately start talking about his crimes over a recorded jail call. I've seen it happen with smarter dudes than him.
Right.
And I'm always like, what are you doing?
Yeah. I think the same, man. And, you know, that's why, you know, we kind of see things the same way. So for that reason, I'm excited to do this joint collab we're working on with this sentencing on the 27th. So, you know, you and me, we're going to work that out. We're going to make it happen. So everybody listening, you'll definitely see me and JD doing that soon. I am going to let some other people, we got them in the lobby waiting. I'm going to let them get on.
I definitely don't want to take up time from anybody else.
Yeah.
I just want to say one thing. If there are any Wade Wilson girlies out there, if we got any Wade wives out there, women, go look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, I need to reevaluate my life choices. I don't need to make my daddy mad anymore. And what's good for the whole is not always good for the soul. And by the way, I've talked to Kelly. I know what he's packing. It probably ain't what you're thinking anyway. Love you, Jump.
All right, man. Appreciate you, brother.
Long Jones and wood chipper.
We're going to add 2 to the stage. We got 2. We got Bella and Fly Girl. Bella's been here quite a while. And then Fly Girl's here with her camera. So we're going to add both. Let's get it.
Hi.
Hey, y'all.
Hi. I wanted to say you did a really good job on the TikTok live yesterday.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And I think you said a lot of things that everyone was thinking. Oh, look at the puppy.
I know. I saw that. I was like, oh my gosh, now we definitely got, I was going to add her anyway, but I was like, now we definitely got to add her now.
She brought a bargaining chip. Yeah. I think it's really crazy that Kirsten thinks that you're responsible for, but you put her in her place. You did a good job.
Yeah. You know, and I never wanted to, and I'm glad the majority of people seem to feel that way. And I've seen a lot of feedback that he said what we wanted to say, you know, and I do have that position to say that. And I'm glad I kind of said what everyone was thinking. And it just makes sense, you know, and she's tried to reach out to me in several different avenues through several different people. And, you know, I'm the type of guy, I like to make my video. I do my social media stuff, and then I step away. I put the keyboard away. I turn the monitor off, and I go live my life. I got cats. I got a girlfriend. I got a family. I got, you know, and I got all these things come through my phone. She's trying to talk to me, and it's like, I don't want to, you know, but it just got to a point where I was like, okay, I got to address this, because if you really want to have this confrontation, well, I'll just let you know what's up, you know? And so I am glad that a lot of people felt the same way. What do you think, Fly Girl? Oh, we can't hear you.
I'm sorry.
Oh, we can hear you now.
Hi. By the way, that my dog, his name is Frosty the Snowman. And I personally would never give Wade the time of day. I think he's disgusting. Like, when I listen to his phone calls, he's the biggest loser.
Yeah.
I don't understand how these females can for 1 second think he's attractive at all. I mean, the moment he opens his mouth, it's like a disgusting loser.
Right.
And I wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole.
And I think, you know, and that's it's funny you say that, because I think, and that's part of what I was saying yesterday. It's like, during this thing with Kristin, it's like, you know, before these calls got uploaded, he hadn't really opened his mouth as far as anyone knew or had heard. And that's kind of what added to the whole thing. And that's why I was telling Kristin, I think it's important we upload these calls. I think it's important we laugh at him. We understand what, and normalize him and humanize him and show that he's nothing special. He's nothing to be romanticized or fetishized. You know, he's not all that. He's a guy trying to exploit anybody he can for anything he can. And he's not that special. You know, y'all are getting all worked up about this guy, and he's just a beggar, you know. So yeah, I agree with that.
I have a question.
Okay.
When he was talking about when he got his paperwork for the death penalty, do you think that it sounded like it was finally hitting him, or no?
You know, from my experience, I think once you get in that early stage of, I've just been arrested, what I've been arrested for is serious, it brings serious sentences and consequences, but I haven't been arrested long enough for that to really hit me. And you're kind of moving into that. It's, you know, it's really hard not to start to be in denial about that and convince yourself that, okay, this sounds bad. I got some bad news, but this isn't going to happen to me. You know, no, you know, there's no way, you know, it doesn't sound good, or they're saying this, but you know what, it's going to work out. And that's why we hear this guy telling these girls, oh, well, and he's gradually trying to be more realistic with himself about it. Oh, well, in a few months. And then we hear him, oh, well, in a year or two. Oh, well, you know, blah, blah, blah. He's gradually coming to terms and getting a grip on what his new reality is. That's what I think's going on.
Yeah. Well, I think you're hilarious. And my favorite parts of watching you is when either your cat or yourself mute you.
Yeah, I know, it's always my cat. And so this time I was really upset this time. I was like, okay, I've been blaming my cat, but now I don't have an excuse. Oh, yeah.
I think that he has no empathy. Do you think he has empathy? Do you think Wade has any empathy at all for anything?
Well, we know. I think we know he doesn't. You know, you hear him talk about it, and where is it? You know, it's not. He's talking about this in great detail, and it's just not there. You know, and there's people out there saying, oh, well, which is ridiculous, and I don't believe any of it, but let's just go with this narrative. There's some women out there saying, oh, well, he only confessed on those calls to protect his family. Even so, an empathetic, normal, well-adjusted human being talking about this stuff, because at the end of the day, people still died. People still, you know, the victims still lost their life. Just, you know, what really happened aside, let's just focus on that. And you want to talk about that. Yeah. He's like, you can say what you got to say if you're protecting your family, but you're laughing about it. And everything he says has a direct path back to why this sucks for me. You know, dang it, this sucks for me. And it's never about the victims, you know.
What's crazy too is when he said, like, I'll never forget how he said, when the victims look at him with that like petrified and they want to get away from him, that's what he craves,
right?
And I could only imagine what those women felt. They must have been so freaking scared.
Yeah.
And psychotic, scary person.
Right. And just strung out on drugs, you know, weird, you know, hard drugs, but like weird drugs, experimental drugs, bath salts, he even admits. And he even talks about some guy at a bar who brought him home and gave him something that he's not even entirely sure what it was. You know, and who knows what that was, you know, and it's
Florida,
like,
right?
And Florida. I was just about to say, it's and of all places, it's Florida. Who knows what it is? And he knows that. And anytime he's asked why he did it, he's just like, you know, them drugs, which I'm not giving him an out on that, but it's like, that just goes to show, yeah, but you're living that life. You're with those people and you wanted to do those drugs. And, you know, now you're off the drugs and you don't really seem to like, oh my God, what have I done? It's more like,
Right.
oh, dang.
Money in his kiosk. That's all he cares about.
Kiosk and long johns. That's all it is.
And we all know how much stuff well, I love it. You turned me on so much, baby, when you said this to me. Like, how many things do we have to know about Wade? Like, come on, dude. It's enough. Like, he's so gross.
I know all I need to know.
Yeah.
Okay. He's got a small one. Okay. I'm good.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. I'll jump off to let other people on. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
We'll let some new people on. Thank y'all for joining. I
Thank
appreciate y'all.
you.
It was good to
Bye.
talk to y'all. Okay.
Bye.
Bye. So we're gonna send out. Oh wow, let me refresh. We got a lot of new ones. Let me just check the chat real quick before I send out the link to some new ones. Thank you, JD Lee. JD Lee. I'm getting ahead of myself. JD Delay for joining. Okay. Checking the chat, checking the vibe. Yeah, some cool subscribers there, some cool viewers. And that's my thing. I love to just talk to just the viewers, just hear from them. All right. We got about like 15, 20, 25 people here. So I'm going to go ahead and send this link out to a few people, and then I might go fill my water cup up real quick and then come back and see who's ready with their camera and mic and all that. So let me get the link. So we might do one more good one and see how I feel after that. All right. Copy. Just send it to a couple people. Sent. Somebody sent me an email in all capitals. I'm ready. Let me in. 3 exclamation points. All right. Calm down. Hang on now. We'll get you. We'll get you. Hang on. Good Lord. I am ready. Let me in now. Dang it. All right. We just sent it to a bunch of people. Let me go fill my water up real quick, and then we'll be right back. All right. Well, we got some people in the lobby now. Let's get it. I just got back from the kiosk. Let's go. We got 2 to add. Let's go. Yep.
Oh my God. Hello.
Hello.
Sorry.
Hello.
I have my crazy
Yeah.
dog in the background.
You good?
Sorry. I just want to say I love your content.
Your dog doesn't.
Oh no, she. I am constantly tuning in and listening. This has been just really funny,
Yeah.
insightful, and just like really great. I have just a couple of thoughts.
Okay.
I wonder, like, when was I wish Kristin would have elaborated yesterday, and like, when did she stop talking to Wade? I kind of want to know that timeline. Like, when did she realize, maybe like he was no good or he was guilty in her eyes? Like, did she ever? I kind of want to hear, like, did she come to a point where she's like, wait, this guy is guilty, I should stop speaking to him?
I'll say this, if it can contribute to any answer, from what I know, and again, I don't have any of these calls. I do talk a little bit, and I try to keep it to where I blind react to the calls. I don't just listen to the calls and I know what's there and then I pretend like I don't and then I react. So I try to make sure I don't listen, but every day or two I do get I do talk to the people who have the calls, and they might say, oh, in this 40-minute call at one point, something along the lines of, they say this or something like this. So from what I understand, just said all that to say, from what I understand of the calls I haven't heard and haven't reacted to, obviously there's some calls that, that you heard from the interview that are never going to be released, not by us. And that's not to protect her, it's to protect minors. And there's other calls. I think there's a few others, but they're not in the calls that are that these channels have right now. There's one more batch of calls that's coming, maybe in the next week or two. I don't know exactly, and there may be a few more, but there are more calls, and I just don't see. I don't predict that in any of those calls that some significant change happens as far as Kristin being like, you know what, this is ridiculous, I'm done. I don't really think any of this hit her or any regret came her way until these videos started happening within the month. It only makes sense, What do you think, Kim?
I don't think. Well, thank God you let me in. For heaven's sakes, I was dying here. I ran out of the Walgreens.
I'm sorry.
Jesus. Here's what I think.
Kim, where are you from?
I'm from New York. For heaven's
Okay, I can tell. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm from New York. All right, go on.
Go ahead.
So this is what I think. I think you came out strong with Kristin in the right way in the beginning, but then when she did that crocodile tear bullshit, you softened up like margarine. And then when she threw in her kid, I feel like she was using her kid as collateral damage. That's what I really believe. I'm a New Yorker. I'm a tough bitch. I'm telling you. And I think that she would still be downtown Julie Brown with Wade if he called her today. I think she would still talk to him. I don't think that she's over him. I don't really feel that she changed. I mean, does anybody on here feel that she changed?
Right. Well, I'm glad that you said that. And as on that last point, I was watching. They're just about to hit 10K on YouTube. They were reacting to me and Kristin's conversation. They actually took a poll. Does anyone think Kristin's changed? I think it was 94, 95. Yeah. So you saw it. Pretty much nobody thinks she's changed, and I respect you, and I'm glad that you call it how you see it, and once she started crying and brought her kid into it, yeah, I softened up, and it's like I mentioned, it just from what I've been through, if you want to admit defeat, if you want to submit, if you want to like pull back, I'm not going to keep my foot on your neck that hard. I'm not necessarily going to be like, oh, well, I was wrong too, because I didn't. But at the same time, I'm not going to like beat you into the dirt. about it. If you know, but I get what you're saying, you know, and I respect that.
So I think that there's there's validity in you, right? Meaning like you're humbled. Your experience humbled you. You've walked in the eyes of humility. So I think those are the places and spaces someone needs to be to make those changes. Oh, I was so feisty when I was listening you speak to her. I thought I was going to rip the computer out of the wall. I was losing my mind just because the way she was coming at you. Yeah. It's not like you created this and did all of this. This is all of her own doing, of her own volition. So to be able to blame everybody, she's somebody who blames everybody. And it's one thing that, like, YouTube Streets said it best. She doesn't care about her kids. She should be home taking care of her kids.
Right.
Well, she's embarrassed now. You know, she's called out, she's exposed. So she's embarrassed. And, you know, you kind of did put her in her place because she was coming at you. And then I think she kind of realized like she was going to lose that argument.
Correct.
You know
yeah,
what
I mean, at the end of the day,
down.
it's just there's some points, just foundation points that it's just like you're either wrong or right, you know, and it's not about if I'm better at arguing than her. I mean, it's just some of the things you say just don't make sense, and it's just ridiculous, you know. And I mean, it is what it is. But you know, I guess part of it also, I know what it feels like to have mass hate come your way, just because I have a big platform. And that comes with it. And maybe that clouds my approach a little bit, you know, and that's why I'm glad you listen to YouTube Streets, because YouTube Streets, I love them because I feel like they're, and I don't mean any disrespect by this. I talk to them. I have their number. We call each other several times a week, so they know I respect them. So I don't mean anything by this, but I feel like they're the little guy. But you know what? The little guy is important. They're the voice of who's watching this and watching these creators and what people think. And I love hearing them. And a lot of things they said about me, I agree with. And then a lot of things they said about me during their reaction, it went against how I feel. But you know what? I think it's the difference between me and Kristin is I hear that and I don't get mad. I hear that and I'm like, that's healthy. You need to hear an opposite opinion sometimes. What I want to do, I'm going to add one more person. We got a guy, Alec. He's been here for a while. Okay. Let me add him. Let me see what he's got to say about this. Alec, you're coming on. So put that thing down in that ashtray, okay? I saw you.
Hey, what's up? No, it's just a cigarette this time.
Okay, all right. What do you think about it, brother?
Both the whole situation, man. This guy's just a fucking idiot. Like, even I can't even explain it. When he was talking to his dad on the phone, like, you could tell the guy's dad's already been locked up, and he knows exactly how it is. Right. And he's trying to tell him, like, yo, like, chill out on the phone. Like, pretty much telling him everything's recorded, man. They're gonna listen, especially such a high-profile case. They're listening to everything the motherfucker says on the phone. Those things are being recorded. Nowadays, we got the whole FOIA, so everybody can fucking hear everything, no matter what. It's just, you know what I mean. His dad's been around the road. He's been around the bed a few times. He knew exactly what he was. You know,
he
like,
has his dad. His dad told me personally via email he's done 12 years in prison, and I didn't know that. I don't know how many people did or did not know that, but his dad, Steve, has done 12 years in prison, so he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, like straight up, man. The dude's trying to tell him, like, okay, you're getting on the phone with these girls, and then you're telling them whatever, and it's like they're gonna piece that together and they're gonna use it against you. Like, it's just some of the dumbest shit I heard on a phone call, and then like. Yeah. Even the switching back and forth.
From Wade's perspective, from the criminal, it's definitely not, you know, it's a dumb move by him, you know. Yeah.
He's not the brightest bulb in the box, you know.
I think, honestly, it reminds me of the Aaron Hernandez case. Do you guys remember Aaron
Hernandez?
And
I see a lot of comments, not to interrupt, but I see a lot of comments saying that Wade sounds so similar to Aaron Hernandez, but go ahead.
He has some characteristics of Aaron Hernandez, but Aaron Hernandez was much smarter, right? He committed his crimes, but he kept quiet about it. He wasn't talking about it. He was hiding bodies. He was doing everything that a criminal would do, right? And you have Wade, on the other hand, who's talking, who doesn't have a conscience. Like, he thinks what he did, there's no consequences for it. And for that, I say he needs to fry. And I think there needs to be t-shirts made that say, you know, void Wade. You know what I mean? Or put Wade Wilson in a circle and then with, you know, a stripe through it, and give those proceeds to the victims' families. Because I feel awful for them. For Kristin to say things about those women is so repugnant and it's heart-wrenching.
Yeah, that was another thing where she said all this stuff about these other women, the deceased women, and she's crying on the call, "You're ruining my life." You were saying all these things, and I think there was one call where she was going to call Mila and talk to her. Like, you were you were doing so much wrong, and you're supporting a killer.
Yeah.
And the thing is, with him, you never heard throughout these calls like him feeling bad. He was always laughing and in good spirits. He was like,
Right.
"Hey baby, how you doing?" As if it never even seemed like he was where he was, like feeling bad or remorseful.
And one thing I was trying to get across to her, it's like, and she says, I didn't sign up for any of this. But the thing is, you didn't. Mila is one thing. She was with him before this happened. Let's talk about Kristin. Kristin didn't get in touch with him until after. And you know why she got in touch with him? Because she saw him on the news. She saw him on CNN, Fox, you know, everywhere, social media. He's all over the place. And she's like, you know what? You know, this is pretty cool. He's all over the place. I wonder if I just reach out to him, if he'll hit back. And of course he does, because he's going to reach out to anyone that might potentially put money on his kiosk. So she reaches out because he is such an infamous guy and he's getting all this attention. And now, for the same reason you got drawn into it, now you're wanting to get out of it because he is infamous. Yeah, he does have a lot of attention, and you got sucked into it because that's what attracted you. And now you want to get out. And now you're like, leave me alone. Don't do this to me. But that's what comes with, that's what I was telling him. That's what comes with it.
Yeah, but I honestly feel that if she was getting any kind of props or any sort of praise, like if she was getting lit up like in a positive light, like, oh, he was taking advantage of poor Kristin, she would be all over this. Like, she would be eating it with a spoon, loving this. And she would want to be on every show playing the victim. You can't play the victim when you did such shitty things. You just can't. You can't have it both ways.
Exactly. I have one more thought. Has anybody heard, you know, Wade has a child, right? Is that?
Yeah.
Has anybody heard from the mother of this child, and is she going to be watching the sentence next week? And what this girl, you know, what is her place in this whole thing, if any?
What do you think, Alec?
I really don't even know, man.
I don't know either.
I heard people talking like he's got 2 kids or something like that, but I've never heard any mention of his baby mom or nothing like that.
Yeah, the only mention I've heard is when Steve called him out for how he never mentions her.
Yeah,
you know, I don't know.
Oh, someone else posted, I think it was one of the other people, maybe Zav Girl or somebody else, her Facebook page, and there was a picture of, I think it was like the birth certificate, and it said it has his name and hers. So I don't know. I just wonder, like, what is this girl thinking? You know, she's raising a child on her own, or, you know, maybe not, but she's raising Wade's kid. I mean, what are her feelings on this? And, you know, how is she traumatized in any way?
Yeah, I mean, I would think so. I mean, you know, I don't know, but I would assume she's aware of this. I mean, you got to be. Right.
So I'm going to jump off, guys, but I just want to leave you all with this one.
Right.
In my opinion, the reason why they're looking into that MRI is to find that he has the brain defect, right? And that's what they're going to use to get him off of the death penalty. Because I thought my understanding is, now I don't know if this is valid in Florida, but if you have some sort of medical condition, you can't be on death row. I guess everyone.
I don't know.
Well, go ahead,
kind of
everyone.
like the Nicholas Cruz case, because, you know, he killed way more.
Right.
And they found that he had all of these, you know, brain defects and stuff. But I think that was also before that the the death penalty changed where it didn't have to be unanimous. His case was one of the last ones before the law changed, because they wanted the death penalty, but I think for various reasons, because the law hadn't passed yet, and he had a lot of significant brain damage. So I don't know, but I think about that, and it's like,
he's got to have brain damage. The guy's
yeah.
an idiot.
Yeah.
Stupid is as stupid does. Pablo, you're the best. Keep doing what you're doing, and we'll keep watching and thumbing you up.
Thank you. I appreciate
Pablo,
you joining.
I appreciate you having me on. I'll keep watching.
Yeah.
You're hilarious.
For sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, I just wanted to know if you laughed at his game calls as much as I did, because like, man, I know dudes like that. Like, I grew up in the hood, right? So like,
yeah.
Everybody I know is in jail. I'm one of the only ones that's like still chilling. No kids, not in jail. Like the fucking only one out of any of them. And like the game that he's pulling in shit on guys and girls, you know what I mean? It's
yeah,
I found it
like
hilarious.
Like you said, guys and girls. I mean, it's just like, you know, us listening to it. I think, I don't know, man. It's easy to tell, but then it's like the people talking to him can't tell, and I think it's because they got drawn to him because they're watching. Like I said, they're watching this on the news. They think it's cool, and that's why I don't really have any sympathy. Like, if you're upset about what came out, about what you said talking to this guy, the only reason you talked to this guy is because he was on the news and you were sitting at home on your couch eating chips, drinking a Pepsi, and you were like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna send him a message, and you got in touch with him, and now you're mad that you thought none of this would ever get out, and now it's out.
Well,
and you want to cry about that, but you know what, that's what comes with it. Now you know.
Yeah, like even back in the day, I remember my buddy's friend, or his cousin actually, his mom used to write letters to fucking what was his name? Richard Ramirez.
Oh yeah.
Like the Night Stalker and shit back in the day.
I just watched the documentary about him a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, so my buddy's cousin's mom or whatever used to write him, and he used to write her back like all the time. It's like, I don't know. I know a lot of chicks like that too, fucking sitting on the phone all day. I know welfare moms sitting on the phone all day talking to people from the pen, doing 3-ways for people. Oh, hey, I need you to go do this, put this on my books. Like, it's just, you know what I mean? It's just something that attracts these women to it. It's like that caveman effect. Like back in the day, you used to club somebody in the head if you wanted your chick, and they still seen that as like alpha status. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As to being like, so they see people like that and they're like, oh, this guy's solid. This guy would protect me. You know what I mean? A lot of the times it's a sense of security that they fucking, it's just in the back of their head.
That I feel like it kind of goes with, like, you know, it's the TikTok effect. Like that's the new thing. That's the 2024 version of it. It's like they got all these clips of him, and they got his best angles and these filters and this music, and it's like, that's why I'm like, people, them same girls who watch those, they need to hear these calls and hear he's just a normal guy begging for money, begging for Snicker bars, you know, trying to finesse people. He's just a guy, you know, he's not some like idol sex symbol, you know, that's the whole thing about it.
Like nowadays it's even worse because you have TikTok and you have like Facebook and YouTube and shit. So people end up building these parasocial relationships. Is that what they call them? Yeah. They end up building these parasocial relationships with these people that they watch every single day. And it's like, they think they know them. They think they're on some kind of level with them, but that person won't even know you from a hole in the ground. And like I said, look at what happens here. It's just fucking asking for money every day. Yo, I need $20. I need $20.
Well, it's funny because, you know, when it came out that he's received over 4,000 electronic tablet messages since he's been locked up, and we've seen some of those, and you know what he's saying in every message? Not too much different from what he's saying in the calls. He coaching some girl about how to put contraband up her you know what, and he literally did. I have the screenshots of it, and it's like, and they're like, okay, I'll do that. And it's like, do you realize, you know, this man don't care. He don't care about none of y'all. He just wants to know what you're going to do for him and what you're going to bring into him and what money you're going to give to him and what you're going to buy him.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Because you know why? Because he knows his life is over, because he knows he did it.
Well, that's the thing. He was just like leeching off women while he was out and shit too. So it's not like he's really hustle oriented either. So in the pen, that's why he's sitting there asking.
Right.
Well, in jail is because he's
Right.
got nothing. He ain't got shit.
And all them people in there are coaching him. Them people who've been in there 2-3 years are like, hey, man, you need to ask them. You need to do them old schools, and how it goes. And I mean, it is what it is. We got another person in the lobby. I'm gonna go ahead and let her join, man. It was good to talk to you, brother. I appreciate you. All right.
All right, man. You too. Have a good one.
All right. Have a good one. What's up, Christina? What's up? You good? Yep. Christina.
Hi.
What's up? You good? What's up? You. Yo. Christine. You good?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. First of all, I think I'm going to get fired from my job for getting caught watching these videos all day long.
Yeah. Okay. That's
Am I
worth
the
it.
only one in here?
Huh? All right, ma'am. I'm sorry. I don't mean to disrespect you, but I'm sorry. We got a real guest on who's got their equipment figured out. What's up, Duty Ron?
I didn't know what was going on there.
I don't know.
was listening,
I hate to do it, but I mean, hey, we got to keep the show going.
yeah, I didn't catch all of the live, but I was listening to maybe half of it here. And I saw that I went back and replayed, and I saw that you were on TikTok, and Kristin was chiming in. I don't know how that all went down, but all I got to say is that, listen, Wade Wilson has no regard for human life, right? He disrespected the women that he killed. He brushed them off like they were just objects.
Yep.
And not only did Kristin, but this other girl, may she rest in peace, right? Breezy. They didn't have any regard for these victims and their families. The two grown men that Miss Ruiz has left behind, and her family, and not even a care. And that's what makes it so callous. And like when she's trying to say, "Oh, my children, they're being ridiculed in school," that's not because of what you did, Pablo.
Right.
It's because of what she did.
Right.
And the sooner she realizes that, the better chance she has to make amends with her kids and say, hey, I screwed up. I'm your mom, and I was communicating with a known killer. Of course, he wasn't convicted at that point, but the evidence was out there. All you had to do is turn the freaking TV on,
Right.
and you could see everything that he did, because this wasn't rocket science. He admitted to everything he did, and the forensics was there. So, like, she can't even play stupid and say, well, free Wade Wilson. He's innocent. He didn't do it. No, idiot. You could see the evidence is right there. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this one out. He brutally murdered two people. And as I said on my last live stream, it could have been 5 or more. Those 2 people that lived in that home that he broke into, thank God those old folks were taking a trip, because if they were there that day and he broke into that house, you bet your ass he would have killed them.
Yeah.
So you can add 2 people onto that, extra people. And we know that his girlfriend Melissa, Mila, whatever the hell,
Mila. Yep.
Mila. She would have been dead too. And he said it. If there wasn't more people around, I would have killed him too.
And she knew it because she brought that up several times. She was like, "You were gonna kill me," or and he goes, "No." But of course, at that point, you want her to put money on your kiosk. Of course, you're gonna say no. But
she was willing to do it. That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
Like this shit.
In his excuse, he assaulted her, he punched her, he made her bleed, he punched her viciously in the face. And you know what his excuse was? You wouldn't listen when I tried to come tell you about how I just murdered 2 women.
Right.
I needed to tell someone and you weren't listening. And so I punched you. That's his whole excuse. So it's like, yeah, you're right. And, Wade, we hear him talk in these calls, and it's the first calls. And a lot of people are like, these calls are old. Yes, they're old.
Yeah.
And then some people are like, these aren't in order. No, they're in order. And we hear him reference how he just got locked up a day ago, 2 days ago, 3 days ago. He's fresh in there. The first calls he made were to his father and to Mila. And he admits to both what he did.
Yeah.
And I think that's the shock of just being fresh locked up. And he doesn't know as a career criminal, as a career convict, don't get on that phone and start talking about what you did. But you know what? If we're coming from a justice standpoint, it's good that he did. But
he didn't even care. He didn't care.
And he's laughing and he's like, oh, it was bad. No. And he's laughing about it. Oh, yeah. Well, at least I didn't have her body in the trunk when I was driving her car. And just, that's not. And all these people who are saying, oh, he did that to protect his family. He was forced to confess. You can confess, but all that extra shit he did, that's just heinous.
Yeah. And when in one of the phone calls too, it's coming like these little fine points are coming back to me. He told Mila, he was like, "I told you that I was a killer, and you didn't believe me." Goes, well, I didn't believe you. So apparently he told her that I'm a killer or that I want to be a killer. Maybe she thought he was talking shit or whatever, but she knew better than anybody else because she was with him for 6 months, right? 6 months. Right. So you get a pretty good understanding of what somebody's like with their high points, their low points, when they're on drugs, when they're straight, when they're drinking. You get to know the demons, the demon levels of Wade Wilson, right? And so, and even after it was all said and done, she was still calling him, and it was still that baby doll and all that crap on the phone calls. But listen, I want to go out on a limb here and tell your audience, and we share a lot of these, community subscribers. And I saw JD on before, and that was great when he came on with you.
Yeah.
Tuesday, the judge is going to sentence him to death. I'm putting my pension on that.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this. People are asking those questions, and I know you're getting a lot of this. Will the judge listen to these phone calls? And I'm going to tell you right now, because I've been in and out of the court systems for over 30 years. They are not, and they will not listen to these calls. And I'll tell you why. Because they can't be biased in their decision, and they can't say, they can't come into court and make a ruling on something based on what was said before he was convicted. So they base the law, they base what they have in the case here, what was presented to them in court. And the reason I know this is because the judges will base their ruling on law and on case law, and that's it. So Wade Wilson will get sentenced to death. On my hands down, I put my house on it. I would put my house on it.
Yeah.
This hearing,
and that's good. That's credible coming from you. As if anyone in the chat doesn't know, this is a retired New York Police Department detective.
Yeah. Like I said, I've been in.
He knows what he's talking about.
I know how these rulings go. Look, Shonda Van Der Ark, and I'm just going to give you an example. We, phone calls from prison, great people, right? Friends of us, friends of myself, we use the calls that they get.
Yeah.
I asked them through you. That was the first interaction with phone calls from prison. I asked about the Shonda Van Der Ark and Paul Ferguson phone calls, and I started using a little bit of just to listen to what they were saying while they were in jail when they were locked up. Well, I came across a hot sauce YouTube channel that did the same hot sauce that they administered to her son, to Timothy Ferguson. And I emailed the court clerk. I said, I want the judge to listen to this review of the hot sauce that was administered to Timothy Ferguson. The judge said, it just came through his clerk. I'm going to watch it, but it's not going to affect my ruling. But he wanted to learn what was administered to the victim, what helped kill this young boy. So I believe that he did watch it, but it didn't affect his ruling because he ruled his sentence based on the law. Right. And that's all they do. They don't look and listen to what people say. He used that as a learning curve for him to learn, because he referred to it as hot sauce. It was the hottest hot sauce that you could feed to somebody, that you could buy. And so I'm just saying, I even knew that he would not use that in his decision, but I wanted him to know what was used to help murder this kid. So I'm anticipating Tuesday that Wade Wilson will get the death penalty, and that's what he wants, right? He wants that. That's what he says.
I would, if I was him, I'd want that. I don't want to spend the rest of my life in prison in isolation with no contact, any socialization ever for the rest of my life. Just take me out.
Yeah, and he said
I don't want to do that.
Right? He said it to his father, right?
Yeah, he did say that. Let me and I value your opinion. I'm glad you said that, because I've been seeking people who want to give their opinion on that, because I will absolutely, I'm sure everyone will. We're all in the true crime niche, so I'm sure we'll all be live streaming and tuning in to that sentencing. But I'm definitely taking your opinion with heavily. Let me add. She's been in here for a while. Let me see what she has to ask.
Holy moly kiosk! I'm live on JSP.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi. I'm a fan of the channel. I just want to get that out there first and foremost.
Thank you.
No problem. I am really just disgusted with the Wade wives of this case. You know, I'm a Florida prison wife. I have a spouse that's incarcerated in Florida Department of Corrections. And to see the way that these women are romanticizing Wade, and they're claiming that he's innocent, and he's even now trying to say that he's innocent in these phone calls and things. Bullshit. And he's beyond guilty. He needs to fry for killing those women and victimizing the community the way that he has. And then his own admissions of he would keep doing it. He'd do it again. I don't want somebody like that in my community. Right. And I live right here in Central Florida. Right. So I'm only like 2 hours from Fort Myers.
Yeah.
So, and I just feel like with the Wade wives, they make this whole romanticization thing look so disgusting for us out here, prison wives and prison husbands that have loved ones that are inside doing time. That we're trying to be strong for them and be encouragements to them to get their shit together so they can come out here and be productive members of society. And then you have these clown heads living in La La Land that think, oh, he's so fine and he's got all these tattoos and yada yada yada, etc. And they're like totally forgetting the fact that he just killed these two women. Do they want to be his next victim?
Right.
Because I know for myself, I sure the hell don't. I don't want to be nobody's victim.
Right. And I think they feel like they'll be the one to not be the next victim. They'll be the one to keep him from having another victim. And I think that's the whole thing. And I feel it's not, not every inmate fits that description of Wade Wilson. There are inmates who I've met one, and honestly, I've never had a role model that I looked up to in my life, but I met someone in my last 2 years of prison who was just a year or two older than me, but he had done 17 years more than me. Wow. And young guy when he got locked up, but he had just grown so much and had such a good heart. And I looked up to him so much, just the way he handled himself. He had a lot of power, a lot of influence, and just the way he went about making his decisions that affected a large group of people. It was just so fair. I just couldn't help but admire him, and everything he did was just righteous and fair and trying to be, even if it was for the little guy or the guy who didn't have a backbone or couldn't stand up for himself, but still wasn't in the wrong or was in the right, and just that justification. And there are inmates in prison who are good men and who have turned their life around. And so I understand what you say, and especially as a resident of Florida in that almost immediate area of Wade Wilson, you are a boots on the ground citizen around there. And so I value how you feel about Wade and what's going on with that. And I totally understand what you're saying about how he really gives a bad name to the inmates who you did what you did. And sometimes, and you know what, a lot of times, no matter how much time you give an inmate, it's not enough to turn their life around. But sometimes the that punishment, it's enough, and they've had enough, and they do turn their life around and they do change. And that does happen.
Just to add something to what you just said, to piggyback off of what you're saying here, is, when you look at inmates of all different types, like you said, there's many good people that get into bad situations. Look, you're walking proof of that. You spent 10 years, a decade of your young adult life, 20 to 30. That time is some of the most precious time. And now you're out productive. You're a good citizen. You're a law-abiding citizen. But you look at someone like Wade Wilson. There is no rehabilitation possibility for someone. He's a demon.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care about how this, anything about this situation. All that matters to him is what it means to him and how it affects him. That's all he cares about.
Drugs, manipulation. It's
all a con game.
Yeah, it's a dangerous combination. And here's my point, is that if he gets sentenced to life behind bars, life in prison, there's always that chance that he could break out and get out of prison, because we hear about this across our great country. We hear about prisoners that escape. And he's already made the attempt in county jail, right? He's already made that attempt. So he's already proven to the system that he is a risk of flight. He's a risk to get out, whether that would be at a hospital, going out to a sick call, getting some type of medical attention, or whatever the case may be, a transportation to a dentist, or whatever the case may be. If that happens, now you have the great citizens of the state of Florida. They're all in danger. He is a danger. He's a murderer. And if he got out, he would do it again. So,
yeah.
I feel like this is all to Wade Wilson. This is all just a big con game. You hear it on the phone calls. It's all about the kiosk. It's all about the long johns and the snacks. And who's going to answer that phone for me so I can get this kiosk money? And who's going to come and visit me? Because, here in the state of Florida, if you get them on your visitation list, they can send you money.
Yep.
I don't know how it works in a Lee County jail, but in the Department of Corrections facilities, you have to be an approved visitor to send money.
Yeah,
so it's just going to keep being a con game over and over and over again. And these Wade wives, they're already falling victim to the con game.
Right. Yikes. Yeah. Again, he belongs nowhere but the death sentence. He belongs behind bars and awaiting either the needle, and he's going to have the choice. That's the crazy part. I have the actual order from the state of Florida up on my secondary screen here, and basically it goes through the procedures. So he's going to get a choice of either old Sparky or to get the needle. And I think I heard him tell his dad that he wants the needle.
Yeah.
Both effective, and it's just a shame. And I got to say this to everybody: it's just a goddamn shame that it wasn't in Utah, because they'd have the firing squad.
I need one of those.
You need a whole bunch of these things. Yeah. How about this for Wade Wilson's girls?
Pardon my French, but you're an asshole.
Ma'am, are you gonna watch the on the 27th? Are you going to watch the?
Oh, my kiosk will be tuned in. I already got my snacks
You got
ready
your
and everything.
you got your longest pair of Johns ironed and ready to go.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got mine on now.
I'm ready to make a meme of him and everything, complete with a
Okay,
song
good.
and all. I will post it on my YouTube shorts.
I was thinking of actually copying, because I have 32 buttons here of all kinds of little noise clips.
Yeah.
I was thinking of getting some of his requests. Hey, could you put, before I let you go, could you put 20 on my kiosk?
Duty Ron,
$20
I gotta send you a free shirt. We got merch coming out. We're donating a whole percentage to the families of the victims, but we got Kiosk Club merch coming out. We're doing that. But
I don't want to donate it. I'll buy it if the money's going to the families. I don't want it for free. I'll pay for it. I'll pay double for it if it's going to the families.
Absolutely, man.
I think that's wonderful, because I feel like throughout all of this, too many people are screaming, "Save Wade, save Wade." And nobody is saying rest in peace to those victims. Rest in peace to those
there's all
women that
this
he
money.
killed.
Exactly. There's all this money getting raised to save Wade. But at the end of the day, all this money needs to go
to the
it
victims'
can't, unfortunately, it can't go to the victims, but it can go to their families if nothing else, and that's what's crazy. People are, and I think the largest donation, it shows you in order what the largest, someone donated, I think the largest one was $21,000. One person donated.
That's gross.
Somebody sent 21,000. You could do anything. You might have a daughter, a granddaughter that you could send to college, but you want to donate to Wade Wilson.
Right.
Come on.
I received like at least a half a dozen emails from his fan club, from some of the women who are supporting him. They were bold enough to send me messages on dutyron.com. And I actually read through these things, and it's just mind-blowing how this day and age, I mean, I just got it just the other day, a whole barrage of these emails. I guess they got word that I was covering it. And like diatribe of reasons why he's innocent and he was framed and all kinds of, and you know what? I respectfully just read it and made a one-line response back to them, and then that was it. But it's amazing. It just I forgot your name here, but you made a point right away up front that the women that are doing this are making it look bad for all the good women are out there that are supporting folks who are incarcerated, who are actually good people, because now they'll all get branded as these bad, people supporting Wade Wilson type. And, Chris Watts has it. All of these crazy people who have committed mass murders have these women that are throwing, sending pictures topless, sending undergarments to these guys, like crazy stuff. Like, come on, man, give me a break.
Absolutely.
It's a shame.
Absolutely.
Well, listen, I'm gonna give a couple. We got a lot of other people. I'm gonna give them a little chance. But it was good to hear from y'all, and I appreciate you joining. Good old Florida native. It's good to hear from the local community. I'm glad to hear
not
that.
a native. I'm a transplant. I'm originally from Ohio, but I have lived down here in Florida for about 15 years.
Okay.
Something like
They
that.
say after you have 10 years in Florida, you're a native.
Yeah, all right. Long enough to know what you're talking about. So we value your opinion, and
thank you. Thank you for having me on your channel.
Yes, ma'am. Duty Ron, are you gonna stream the sentencing?
Yeah, I have an attorney friend who is going to come on and just give the legal perspective of what goes on. The Spencer hearing. So for a lot of people in the chat, and I hope you don't mind I do this, a lot of people in your chat here are asking well, what time is it? So 2 p.m. Eastern is what the court states that the sentencing will be. But before that, there's going to be this Spencer hearing. And the Spencer hearing is going to be the neurologist, the doctor that was performing this MRI or CAT scan or whatever the fuck it is that they asked them to do. So they're going to have an opportunity to the defense to present what has been done to Wade Wilson neurologically or whatever, an MRI, whatever, CAT scan, and they are going to present their case. And then the prosecutor is going to be able to cross-exam. They're going to give the cross on the expert witness that the defense has. So if that's, of course, even if that's need be, because it might not be necessary, because they may find that there's nothing wrong with him.
Right.
So that's going to happen before. So they may go live. The court may go live earlier. And I don't know how much time they allotted for that, but I know that the judge said that 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when the sentencing should be. So somewhere around there.
2 p.m. Okay.
Yeah. So that's, a lot of people were asking about it.
Right. I was wondering that'll be good. And, I feel like pretty much everybody in the true crime community is going to be streaming that. But, I don't look at it as like, you got to pick one. It's a competition. I feel like we're all together, and it's kind of like, I hate to say it, but it's kind of like a big house party, and every person is in one room. And if you ever been to a house party, you kind of go room to room and see what everybody's up to in each room. So I would love to think that all our communities kind of come together, mix and mingle, and bounce around from creator to creator, and we just all kind of tune in collectively. And let's really see what happens to Wade. Like, it's gonna be, I value your opinion. You know much more what you're talking about than I do as far as that subject, as far as what he's most likely to get during the sentencing goes. And so, I assume he would get the death penalty, but you know much more than me. And so if you think that, I'm really thinking he will. But it's just nevertheless, it's something I'm absolutely going to tune into, and I know my community is interested in, and I know yours is, and everyone else. So
99.99% chance he's going to get that death penalty. There's a very small slither of a hope of a chance that he doesn't, and I'm not saying that's what I'm hoping for, because I want him to get the death penalty. But like I heard you say that you're going to, stream it with JD's going to join you. I think that's going to be a phenomenal treat for your audience to get your guys' perspective. I'm only going to do just whatever the legal part of it is, and then I'm just going to end it. So if you're still live and you want me to come up, like, while you're, after fact, to talk a little bit about the legal ramifications, and I have the procedures from the Department of Corrections from the state. I'm gonna have them up right now just to have it in front of me. So if in fact he gets that death penalty, we'll go over all of the procedures of when the death warrant gets signed, and this could be decades, right? 2 decades or more. I think they said 22 years in the state of Florida.
I'm gonna see Ron, if you'd be open to it. I want to see if I can get you on at the same time. I have he's a creator. Me and him get along. We didn't used to, but now we do. I got respect for him. He's done a good bit of time in Florida prison. And I think that'd be a good contrast. And maybe we all three could just talk and just break that down. I think he's got over 400,000 over here on YouTube. So that'd be a good mix of communities, and just get everybody's opinions and perspectives on that if you're open to that.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm always open to collaborate with you and anybody that you feel would be good for our communities. You know what I mean? I don't like to always just give that law enforcement side, and that's why I connect with folks like yourself. And I have the corrections guys, and I try to give the listening audience all angles on all of these cases. And listen, Wade Wilson is what he did, and the amount of carnage that he created on that one day. Like, I intend to even break down the forensics with my partner when he comes back from Africa. Ed Wallace is a forensic and a DNA expert. So we're going to go over the crime scenes. We're going to talk about all of the evidence that was collected from Wade Wilson to really shut down these people who are thinking that, well, he was framed and it wasn't him in the videos and all kinds of old crap. And I'm going to give him an quick.
Oh, hell no.
So, and I'll hook you up
hey,
with
listen, that sounds
good. Deck. So I'll hook you up with one of these. Got 32 buttons, but I think I got like a 16 button extra one that I started out with. I'll send it to you if you want to play
you
with
need
it.
to replace one of them buttons with my voice of "Meet me at the kiosk."
Yeah, you got
because we're talking about Wade Wilson. But hey, listen, Ron, I appreciate you. Listen, you got my number, I got yours. We'll collab, and we will be together on the 27th, if not sooner. So everybody, big thanks to Duty Ron. Great guy. Go subscribe to his channel. He's even bigger than me. He covers true crime. If you love that, Duty Ron on YouTube, go subscribe to him, show him some support. He's one of the first guys when I first got started on YouTube a year and a half ago. Gave me my first big break, let me join his live show, and really helped me out. So we really love him and respect him over here on this channel. Show him some support and hit that subscribe button for him.
Thank you, Jumpsuit. And I just want to say, I'm not bigger than you. We are equal. We are equal. You're going to surpass me. So it's going to be fine. We're in this together, and I consider you a brother. So thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, man.
Talk to you soon, guys. Thank you.
See you. All right. Now, hey, we love Duty Ron over here, man. We accept no Duty Ron hate. We only accept Duty Ron love. We love Duty Ron. Excuse me, ma'am. I've been getting lit up by you through the entire chat. Talking about add me. I've sent you 3 links and now you've gone dead silent, ma'am. What's your name? Hang on. I'm going to find your name. I'm going to get you. Jarita. Excuse me, Jarita. Jarita, you chat. Jarita. Excuse me, Jarita. What'd she say? She said, where's the link? Where's the link? LOL. I know LOL ain't nothing funny. It's right here. Hang on, I'm gonna send it again. Here you go, Jarita. Click it. It's right there. Look at Jarita. Talking about it's me, Jarita Streeter. Yes, ma'am. I sent you the link. Click it. Oh, uh-oh. All right. You handle that. And I'm going to use the bathroom real quick. Oh my goodness. I'm not getting it. I just wrote you back. All right, I'm going to try one more time. And if it ain't meant to be, it's not meant to be. But listen, I'm telling you, listen, I clicked invite. Here's the link. I'm pressing the copy button. I have copied it. Now I'm opening another tab. I'm going to Gmail. Click Gmail. I'm going to my Gmail. And I see you right here. You told me what your email is. I'm not going to leak your email. I'm going to reply. Paste. There's the link, ma'am. Maybe check your spam. I don't know. But there it is. All right. So there it is. I did it. If it doesn't work, I don't know what to tell you. I got to use the bathroom. I'll be right back. And then if you can't join, I'm just going to do a little one-on-one with the chat real quick, and we're going to have a good old time. Okay? Hang on. Ma'am, check your spam. Spam, ma'am. All right. Uh-oh. I think I see somebody now. Hey. Hang on. Oh, Jarita Streeter. Okay. I see you now. We about to get you on there. Hang on.
Jarita Streeter.
What's up?
Hi.
Hello.
Yo, you're making me like bust a blood vessel. I'm like, get me in there. We need some melanin up in here.
All right. Well, we want to hear what you got. We want to hear what you got to say.
I just have a question. Okay. So I watched your live with Kristin.
Okay. Yeah.
And
what'd you think about it?
I think you handled her real proper, something proper. But what I wanted to know though is why didn't you ask her about her lies? Like, she said she never visited him, but we heard multiple times that she did visit him. Like while she's playing victim, and there's also like one of the past 2 calls where he's literally talking about his baby's mama to her, but she said she didn't know he had kids. So before she can go off spouting about, what her son is going through because people from his school or his circle follow your page, it's like people aren't feeling bad for you because you're still not being honest,
Right. And as far as like she said, there's some things I don't really I'm put it like this, the calls get uploaded. I listen to the calls because I just hear ridiculous stuff and I think it's ridiculous. And so I laugh at it. And that's what I put out. Now, people enjoy that and they get really into that. And within my community, and then they reach out to me and they're like, hey, this is also going on. And so-and-so did this or so-and-so did this. And so I get some information that Kiosk Kristin has done a interview over here or with this person and this, and I didn't see it myself, but what they're telling me is, and I got to take this person's word for it, they're telling me, oh well, she's saying she never visited him and she didn't really ever put money on his books, in his canteen and all that stuff. Okay, and then and so I hear that from a trusted source. I don't think they would just make that up. And so then there is a video out there where I'm like talking about Kristin, and this is before me and her, our little thing happened. And she's like, and I'm like, well, Kristin's trying to reach out to me. She's going through Steve, the father of Wade Wilson, who I'm in contact with, trying to get in contact with me. She's reaching out on different platforms. She's sending me message requests. She's sending me DMs. She's trying to do anything.
Yeah,
she can to
I
get in
saw
touch
you
with me.
said that.
Yeah, and she's saying, all this stuff. And so I come on the video and I'm like, well, I heard that Kristin is, she did a big, she had her big interview. Finally, she had her big interview and she said, I never visited Wade. We know that's a lie, right? Pretty much, because you're talking about past visits, future visits, and current visits, and so that's a lie. And a couple lies have been caught, and so it is what it is. But still, I had no desire to confront her because I'm not even going to take an hour and a half out of my day to talk to you. I don't care. I got cats to play with. I got a girlfriend to spend time with. I got a gym to go work out at.
You got long johns.
Yeah, I got long johns to put in the washer. I don't care. Like, I don't even want to talk to you, And so it just, but she kept hammering it so hard to a point where I guess I just had to. But as far as I want to answer your the first thing you pointed out, as far as why I guess I didn't address some of the lies when I had the confrontation with her. Honestly, just to be honest, I think half of it is I didn't remember to bring that up. There was a lot, I just didn't remember. So
Your blood was kind of boiling.
It was, I was worked up, and I guess there's so much to say. There's so much to say. I guess I didn't remember to bring that up, but also, it's like I feel like what I'm only here because you are relentlessly trying to get me here. And so now, and you can do that. You can come at me all you want, but I started getting messages from other channels that I'm good friends with, and they're smaller channels and they don't have all this influence and stuff. And I was told that she was trying to weaponize a mass audience to cause issues for these other small channels. And I don't like that, because at the end of the day, these small channels are not in the wrong. It is what it is. You did what you did. So I'm like, okay, well, you know what? You want me, you got me. So let me hop on here
Did
and let me talk to you.
Did you notice a change in her voice? Like, okay, so when we listen to her calls, it's clear she's insecure. So she makes fun of every girl's looks, that even according to the 2 victims that are deceased, like she made fun of Breezy, which I think is a little bit easier on the eyes. You know, made sure
I mean, yeah.
She made fun of Mila. She made fun of the victims. Any girl that wasn't her. So like when Mila hopped on the live and she saw that you were giving Mila so much grace, I could feel jealousy again from her, you know, like, why didn't you give me a one-on-one? Okay, I don't want any beef with you. I don't want any beef with you. She was trying to like be a little bit more feminine then.
Right.
But it's like, no, you gangster though, right? Aren't you gangster, Kristin?
Yeah. And I'm glad you brought that up. And you know, it's hard because there's so many people who are going to see that it's getting live streamed and recorded all over YouTube and all that. And you know, part of it, I'm still getting used to the fact that people watch what I do.
I just started watching you.
Right.
Like
and you know, I've only been out 2 years, and it's been a process, and I'm just a guy, you know, and I'm still getting used to the fact that what I do is going to be seen by a lot of people. But with Mila, it's like, I think the difference there was Mila, I have her phone number in my phone right now. And that phone number was given to me by someone who has her number, right? That's the only way I got it. And why did I get it? Because the person who had it trusts me. And how do they trust me? Because I do good business. I don't screw people over. I don't set people up. And so I did good. And so I got her number, and then I talked to her, and then you hear her get on there and defend me. You know why? Because I kept that same energy with the person who gave me the number. I do good business. I do good. You know, I'm not here to set you up. I'm not here to screw you. But I will offer you a platform, and whatever my community thinks, they think. I'm not going to get on her and be like, hey, don't, you know, you can say what you say, but she didn't want to do that. And that's why I got on there and I was like, well, I understand, because especially if you didn't sign up to be no internet person, like comment sections can be intimidating. So I get that. But Kiosk Kristin, it's like, dude, you're coming at me. But I wouldn't have nothing to talk about if you had to did what you did. And if I don't do it, there's 15 other people who are going to do it.
Right. So I'm going to get monetized and get in and live my life. And you can be mad about it. I remember when I first I was trying to do YouTube. I mean, I got monetized at one point, and then I just fell off for a little bit because it was too much. But the internet is rough. And the only reason why I got monetized was because of my own bullshit, my own drama with some idiot from Love After Lockup that I was dating. And it was my own fault. He wasn't the one locked up. He was the one that got played by the girl locked up. But
where are you from? Because Love After Lockup hit me up too. Where are you from?
I live in San Diego, but I used to date Vinny, the one that was with Puppy and Amber.
Yeah. They hit me up when I first got out, but I was just like, no,
it's so that production is so messy. It's messy. It's good you didn't know. But that's the only reason, because of the crazy shit we were going through. And then COVID happened. People just started watching me, but then I had to deal with, like, okay, you're dumb. You're the one back with them. You deserve to get this done to you and that done to you, you know? And you'd have to have tough skin, you know, but
you do.
But another thing with Aaron Hernandez, right? Didn't they say he had brain injuries from all the years of football?
Then I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know. I ain't looking at none of that. But I mean, I could see that.
So how is Wade in his little slap contest in the backyard even gonna equate?
Is that what they're? Is that what they're? What are they basing off? Is that what they're basing it off of? Like why he needs a brain scan? What are they saying?
I don't know why they're saying he needs a brain scan. I don't know why they said that, to be honest with you. But I thought with Aaron,
chat. If y'all know, put it in the chat. Why are they even giving him a brain scan?
Like last resort type stuff. I got a question though. If he doesn't get the death penalty, right? Say he does life in prison. Is he allowed to like get married and get like conjugal visits from all these dumbasses? Would he be able to live life like that in prison? Or would they cut that off?
I guess I can't say for certain on that because every state is different. It's just because I've been to prison in one state, I can't really say what it's going to be in any other state. It's state by state, and I could talk to somebody about that and see what's up, what they're saying, but I don't think so. Because it also does kind of they mimic each other's policies by region, and we're all down south. I've been in South Carolina. That's where I did my 10 years at. And so Florida's not too far off. We're all kind of down south. And they're just now considering the idea of introducing conjugal visits as a privilege. Because the South is so outdated. These people are getting medieval down here, man. These people are so country. I'm telling you, they're so country, man. These people are making homemade weapons. It's some vicious things going on down here, and they don't know what to do to stop it. And so they're trying to offer any luxury and any incentive to stop all this violence. They're just now talking about the idea of introducing conjugal visits. So I don't know if they got that now, but it may happen in the near future. But I'm not going to lie to you. It's not a thing in South Carolina, but I know for a fact people have sex on visits in South Carolina. I mean, they're going to find a way. They're going to find a way. You can get around things. So, I mean, he could do that too.
That's crazy. I mean, I don't believe in the death penalty. I really don't. I feel like people should suffer. I feel like being in jail forever would be worse than getting the needle.
That's what I say.
My dad's doing life in Texas and for robberies and stuff his whole life, and he wants to die. He doesn't even want to go get his heart surgery. He's like, fuck that, I'm not going. Right. I'm like, bro, so I don't know. I feel like that's the easy way out. I hope they give him life, and I hope they don't let him have the GoFundMe. And I hope they're
not going to. Man, listen, I'll be honest with you. I could be wrong. I'm just, at the end of the day, I'm just another guy. I'm down here in the South and in the middle of nowhere in some small town. I don't know, but it just makes sense to me that because it ain't Wade Wilson running that GoFundMe. You got a GoFundMe that's worth over $60,000, $70,000, $100,000. Whatever woman is out there running this GoFundMe, you think she's not just going like
take some off the top?
Take everything. I mean, what is he gonna do? What is anybody gonna do?
I don't know.
What is anybody gonna do?
Can't really do anything.
Let me go ahead and grab 117 grand, put it in my pocket. What is anybody gonna do? And anything you're gonna do, what do I care? I'm 117 up.
Okay, I just have two last things to say, and then I'll leave you alone for bothering you.
Okay,
Thank you so much for letting me bother you.
All right, no, go ahead.
Okay, so I was listening to another channel. I forgot the name. I think it starts with like a T, but they were reacting to everybody was reacting to your live with Kristin, right? And these guys were saying like this might push her into a relapse. What do you think about that? Because they feel like she's clean.
Well, listen, if it does, if it wasn't me that pushed her, if it's not me that brings a hardship, there's going to be another thing. Listen, ma'am, you're in your late 30s, if not early 40s.
Yeah.
If it ain't me, it's going to be another thing. I'm not going to be the last hardship in your life. If you are not in a headspace to be able to control and discipline yourself, and you've overcome addiction and you've changed and you're such a different person, I mean, if it ain't me, it's going to be something else. And if you can't handle
meetings, I go to meetings. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, I've had problems with alcohol in the past. I'm not judging, but all I'm saying is, if that's all it takes. then you got a little more work to do. And if it ain't me, it's gonna be another thing.
Somebody
So
else.
you know, it is what it is, man. That's not on me.
All right. Last thing was, if you're gonna have like a kind of like a watch party on Tuesday, right?
Right.
It's gonna be live during the trial.
Yep.
Okay. Why don't you have a Long John party?
What is a Long John party, ma'am?
The girls.
Are you gonna join me in your Long Johns?
I will, but I want to wear.
You don't got none. Let me see them.
I don't have any right now.
Got that.
Listen,
All right. Well,
they're the Christmas ones, right? I'm not gonna wear the Christmas one, but can the girls wear those shorts ones, and then the guys wear the?
Can girls wear short johns? I don't know, ma'am. It's a Long Johns, but it's called Long. I don't know. The word short don't exist in this. It's Long Johns.
Alrighty. Okay.
All right.
Well, thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you. It's good to hear from you.
All right. Bye.
All right.
Okay. Well, why don't you have a Long John party?
Yo. What is a Long John party, ma'am?
The girls.
Why is this still playing?
Long Johns?
I will, but I want to wear.
You don't got none. Let me see them.
Can you hear this, ma'am? Kelly Jean, can you hear this?
Christmas ones, right? I'm not gonna wear the Christmas one, but
Do you hear this audio going on in the background? Am I tripping?
the guys wear the.
No, I hear it.
What is going on? Why is it still playing?
I don't know. Ma'am, it's a Long Johns, but it's called Long John. I don't know.
Hang on.
The word short don't exist.
I don't know why. Okay, it stopped. What'd you
It
do?
stopped.
You did something. I saw your arm move and then it stopped. What'd you do?
Oh, I had to switch from Safari to Google Chrome.
Oh, that's you. You did that.
My bad.
That was your fault. All right. What's up,
Text
Kelly? You
Hey,
might,
how
I think,
are you?
listen, you're going to be the last guest we have. So,
Oh, awesome. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to say it's so good to meet you. I love your
Yeah.
content and I think you're so funny.
Thank you.
I actually have a friend who I found out watches you too, and we're always texting each other like, "Are you tuning in?" And but
Are you
yeah,
going to tell them you got on there?
yeah, I think we're texting
Okay.
right now. So.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I just wanted to say, like, with the whole Kristin thing, I feel really bad for the victims because she's, you know, to put it politely, I'll just say I used to be that girl when I was like 20 years old, you know, falling for like the bad guys and everything. And that's something that you would hope people grow out of, like I did, you know, and just to hear her talk with such apathy and so little remorse about, you know, like you have a child and everything, you're in your 30s. I mean, it's insane to me, you know, and just watching that makes me sick sometimes because I'm like, how can you like a guy like that? Like, you know, he looks good, but when he does this, it's just, you know.
Right. He kills the illusion.
Yeah.
And that's the point of the videos. But I think if I could summarize it, it's like, if I could put all her points into one and then knock them all down, I would say, okay. She says she didn't sign up for this. You signed up for it because, unlike Mila, you didn't know this man until he got all over the news and he got notorious and he got fame. Now, maybe you didn't think he'd get as big as he got to this day, but he was still bigger than anyone. You know, he was all over the news, and that's why you knew who he was. And that's where you're like, wow, this is interesting. Your daughter came and said something about him. That's what she said. This is all from her mouth. He's notorious. He's infamous. And that intrigues you. You thought that was interesting. And so that the fact that he was well known and many people were widely interested in him, that's why you reached out to see if he'd be if you would be one of the girls he would talk to.
Right. And I did know
that.
a lot. She gives me that whole pick me vibe, you know, talking bad about all these other girls, and it's just not coming off the way you think it's coming off.
Right. Well, you know, if that's your motivation to reach out, now that same motivation that made you reach out has backfired, and you're blasted because this man is infamous. This man's notorious. He's widely covered. He's widely known. He's on the news. All those things that made you reach out and see, maybe I'll be one of them girls he'll talk to.
Right.
Guess what, ma'am? You are. And for these reasons, you're on YouTube.
Honestly, like I would have loved to see her face when she heard these phone calls, or maybe even before, and realized how many girls he's talking to and just does the same thing with. And the manipulation with him is insane. but he's really dumb too.
It's
so.
really it's insane. I think what's insane is that they fall for it because I think when you're an outside party, it's like it's funny, and that's the thing. I'm like, it's not that we're trying to come at you. I think it's just funny that it's even happening. It's funny that these girls are even falling for it. I guess you're just so blinded by the bubble of like he's a bad boy, he's well known, all the like. If you think murder is cool, then okay, but it is what it is. So that's their one point, and then it's like, okay, my kids, and it's like all I was trying to drive home is, ma'am, if you're worried about your kids, you weren't worried about them back then. But me personally, I'm worried about them now, and that's why we didn't release the worst calls. But you're on here to now you've switched your story since that was 5 years ago. I've changed since that didn't work. Oh, well, really, this is about my kids, and you're disrespecting my kids. Ma'am, I never disrespected your kids. I saved your kids. You disrespected your kids by putting them in danger and not protecting them because you introduced them to Wade Wilson and put them on the phone with Wade Wilson, which we had to not release. So effectively, you failed, and we protected them because you didn't. And so there's that. So your second point is gone to dust. And then it's just like, I mean, anything you want to bring up against me, I just don't get it. Like, and I guess she just thought that I wasn't going to come like that, and I'm going to shut down anything you got to say.
Everyone on a public platform deals with that. She put herself in relation to a notorious person who's all over the news. What do you expect? You know what I mean? And I thought that was really gross what she did with her kids. If you want to be all fetishizing a killer, I mean, do you, girl? But to bring your kids into it, I mean, it was just...
You don't have to do that. And it's like, and again, and I've seen some comments just like, you shouldn't protect Kristin, release those calls. These calls were not held private to protect Kristin. These were, we don't care about Kristin. We don't. Why would we? She doesn't care about anybody else. We didn't release these calls to protect the minors at the time. And I can't go into why or prove or anything and like justify, because that'd be giving away too much. And that wouldn't be protecting the minor. But all I can tell you is I promise you those calls for what they are and what's in those and what's included in those, they weren't released to protect the minors.
Right.
And it's not to protect Kristin. So everyone's who's like, she deserves to have those calls released. Maybe she does, but those minors don't. Right. They don't got nothing to do with that, so that's why, that's where we stand on that. And that's why we did. But what I was also trying to tell her is, this is just me and one other channel that I'm cool with, Phone Calls from Prison, and they are very ethical. They're very moral. They draw a line in the sand. They're not trying to ruin their lives. They care about people. These other channels, and we know for a fact, because we can request more calls, and they said, you know what? It's going to be a while. You know why? Because 13, 14, 15 other people have requested all these hundreds, 150, 200 calls. And guess what? These other channels, they're going to, the same things that we morally and ethically don't want to put out there, they're going to headline it. They're going to thumbnail it. They're going to title it. They're going to advertise it. They're going to capitalize it. They're going to put you out there. So you're worried about me going hee hee ha ha. She looks like a dung beetle.
Well,
I mean, but what you need to be worried about is these other channels that are going to put out actual, I ain't gonna get, you need to be worried about that. You need to be worried about that. You worried about the wrong thing. That's all I was trying to tell her. You barking up the wrong tree just because there's bigger trees that are more dangerous to you.
And for her to say, I'm changing, I'm not that person anymore. I mean, she might to an extent, but for her to be reaching out to you constantly and trying to, get at you, take these videos down and worrying so much about it, you haven't changed. If you changed, you wouldn't care. You'd be going about your life doing whatever, Why are you wasting your time? You haven't changed.
Right. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to take no for what? Like I told her, if you change, then there's people who say things about me, and I'm not, I talked about a lot about that on that interview, and I think it may have came across like I'm not trying to make it about me. All I'm trying to get her to understand is like, I've been through what you think you're dealing with times 3, times 5, times 10. And I'm just a regular guy too. When I started, I'm still a regular guy, and I had to adjust, and I signed up for this. And she's like, I didn't sign up for this, but you did. You could even say Mila didn't sign up because Mila was with this man before he became a spectacle.
Right.
You reached out to that man because he became a spectacle. And so therefore you're about to be a spectacle. That's what comes with it.
Yeah, and that's something I don't get too, is you've never met this guy in person. You obviously know the charges against him. It's not like he's a buddy from high school or something. You've never met him before. Why would you? What's the attraction? What's the appeal? You know, is it the face tattoos?
It's the fact that I'm telling you, it's the fact that he killed people, and he's got the tattoos. He's a bad boy. He's a murderer. He's a killer. She's got that fantasy, that romantic. She's into that. And I mean, you know what? If that's the case, read a book. Like, you know, like watch a fantasy movie. But I mean, don't talk to me about it. If that's what you're into, you can't help yourself. Okay. But that ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm going to laugh at you.
Right.
I'm definitely going to laugh at you. And I'm not going to stop laughing at you. It's funny. And I'm going to laugh at the next man and the next man and the next woman and the next man and the next woman. It is what it is. You know, and so that was that whole thing. It's just like, you're coming at the wrong guy. You trying to demonize the wrong guy, when at the end of the day, you know what, ma'am? If I really didn't care about your kids, if I really wanted to disrespect your kids, if I really didn't care about you, man, there's a lot more damage that could have been done, and there wasn't. Motherfuckers really showed mercy. But you know what? These other people who were trying to come up and looking for a way to make their first 10K on YouTube, that's who you need. They're gonna put you out there.
Yeah, a lot of people care about the entertainment
get you
aspect and not the children and the people who are really going to be hurt by it, because they just want the views and the likes, you know. But
so she better start figuring out what she's going to say about that, because again, I'm not trying to gatekeep, but I'm not going to be the guy who puts it out there. When this stuff comes out, I know it's going to. When it comes out, it's not going to be from me, and it's not going to be from these other channels that I work with. But when it comes out from some random person, listen, all this, you're joking about my hair and my weight, or you're laughing at ain't none of that going. Ma'am, you've done horrible things. You've admitted to crimes that could get you locked up. These are terrible things. And I can't even get into it, but it's just like, and she's like, I don't remember. And I don't know if she does or not, but if you listen to that, I'm trying to talk to her like, you know, maybe you don't. It was 5 years ago. There's things I don't remember from 5 years ago. But if you do, like from me to you, ma'am, like you might want to start figuring that out.
Yeah.
You worried about me. You need to worry about what's going to happen when this shit comes out. And you better be glad it didn't come out with me.
Right.
You know,
my heart really goes out to his dad too, because, you know, at this point, it doesn't really matter how many bridges he burns, because the dude's going down, you know, but my heart really goes out to his dad, because what he did was really tough. And I know that, and to hear all this stuff coming out, I'm sure is really hard for him too. You know, but just hearing his dad be there for him, and then him disrespect him and betray him like that on the calls, so two-faced and so nasty.
You mean Steve?
Yeah. Is that his dad's name?
The bald guy?
No, Wade's dad. The one who turned him in.
The one that he's on the calls with on my channel?
Yeah. He did an interview with the
23 and 1 lockdown, 23 and 1 death.
Yeah.
I mean, so say that again.
No, my heart goes out to him, because I know that he really tried with him, and it was
Steve. Steve.
No, his dad.
Yeah, well, yeah. Am I getting his name wrong?
I don't know his dad's name. I
think his name is Steve. I think that's who it is. I think we're talking about the same person. Yeah, no, I get that, you know, and it's like, I mean, at the end of the day, you got to put yourself in the shoes of someone who, I'm a father. I have a son. I love my son. I gave birth to my son. And now my son has done horrible things.
Right.
And what do I do? You know, how do I feel about this? What, you know, it's hard, you know.
Yeah. And for him
You
to
know,
be
I
listening
get
to
that, but at the end of the day, he definitely made the right decisions, and
Oh,
I
definitely.
think he took the right stance. So I respect that, and I know it was hard to do that, like you said.
Right. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't believe in the death penalty, but with what he did and how he said it, I mean, I'm kind of on the fence, you know, but we'll see. I guess in a few days is the sentencing, right?
On the fence about what?
About the death penalty for
If
him.
he'll get it or not?
Yeah, because I don't really believe in it, but with his charges and what he did, I'm like on the fence, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's not like whether you think he'll get it, it's just whether you think he should get it.
Right, yeah.
And see, I was going to talk about that earlier because, like, you know, you can't, you know, some people just morally, they can't condemn, you know, no matter what they did. You can't, you know, some people just truly are like, it's not for me to say someone deserves to die.
Right.
And I get that. And some people feel that way and some don't, you know, and so if, you know, I get that. I think Florida's one of them states that just, I think they're gonna kill him. I think
so too.
I think they're gonna kill him.
Yeah.
But it's, you know what? I really don't know. You know, and that's Tuesday. It's right around the corner. It's Friday.
Okay.
You know, it's gonna be wild. You know.
Yeah, it's gonna be a spectacle for sure.
Well, I'm gonna live stream. Make sure you tune in. All right.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
It was so good
Thank
to
you
meet
for
you.
joining.
Take care.
Take care. All right, y'all. Y'all mad at me? What are y'all in this chat yapping about? Somebody said something mean earlier. I saw you. I seen somebody said something nasty about me earlier. Who said it? What? Y'all mad at me? What I do? What I say? Because I was going to do a Long John shimmy to close this thing out. But you know what? Maybe I will. We're mad because you're leaving us. Well, what you want me to do? It's been 3 hours and 20 minutes. It's 10 o'clock. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Nope. You know, I'm hungry. I'm really hungry. I hadn't eaten. I ate Bojangles. I ate a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit from Bojangles this morning with a bottled water. That was at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock this morning. I ain't ate since then. I'm hungry. Slim Jim on your desk. No, it's not. I ate it. All right, I lied. All right, I ate a biscuit and a Slim Jim. All right, you caught me. I ate it. Dang it. I'm about to. I tell you what, I'm about to. I'm about to hit a shimmy. Are y'all mad at me? Y'all think was I wrong on the with me Jumpsuit versus Kristin? What do y'all think? Did I lose? Did she conquer the kiosk? Who won the kiosk? Did I win? Did I win? Somebody said, "Where can we rewatch?" Ma'am, rewind. Just drag your mouse to the left. Talking about where can I rewatch? Right here. Right here, madam. Click your mouse, hold it, drag it to the left. There you go. You got your 3 hour, 26 minute show. Okay? You understand? You understand me? You're going to see some good stuff. I'm shaking my butt flap several times. Okay. What do y'all want me to do? Y'all got any more suggestions before I go? Is there one last thing I should do? I'm open to suggestions. What is it? But I better get an overwhelming majority of agreement on one suggestion. Hang on. What the heck? Whoa. Somebody said, oh, quit chatting. I'm trying to find it. Y'all keep bumping it. Hang on. What did this guy say? This man's insane. Hang on. Where are you? I'm going to find you. I'm going to track you down. Did he get banned? Where are you? Oh my goodness. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't even want to know what he said. Y'all keep chatting. Oh goodness. I give up. I can't find him. You want to know what he said? No. This man sent a chat talking about, hey, email me. I got an interesting perspective as a former serial killer. Sir, excuse me, sir? I call the FBI. What do you mean? Is Zav girl your girlfriend? No, sir, no, ma'am. Somebody said they got an interesting perspective as a former serial killer. Send them an email. And you know what? I can't find them because y'all are chatting, talking about butt flaps, shimmy, Long John shimmy butt flaps. Look what y'all did. Y'all lost him. Y'all lost him. Long John shimmy butt flaps. That's what y'all lost him for. We could have saved a life. We could have saved a life. But no, y'all want Long John shimmy butt flaps. That's what you opted in. You opted in. All right, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all get one. Y'all can get one more thing out of me before I go. I'm gonna end this live. I'm gonna get me some food. I'm door dashing right now. Give y'all 10 seconds. Y'all let me know what y'all want before I sign off. Somebody said twerk. Ban them. Ban their account now. It's my shimmy. Oh, Jazzy's World sent $50. Quit sending me money. You won. KK lost with a swollen tongue. Listen. I'm not shimmying. Somebody sent $80. Whoa. Thanks for the entertainment. I ditched Netflix for this channel. Much love from Australia. Oh, those are Australian dollars. So you sent 79 cents. You tricked me. You tried to trick me. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what. $7.99. You tried to kangaroo me. He tried to kangaroo me. You hit me with the old kangaroo. Kangaroo-de-doo. He tried to kangaroo me too. He tried to down under me, y'all. He tried to down under me.
Don't you ever down under me. You hear me? Don't you ever ruin me. Down under.
All right, that's all the shimmying you're getting, okay? I'm out of here. Shut your mouths and get the hell out of here now. Good night.